Chapter 4307. There was no pattern to the opening of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. It would only open when the ultimate experts were interested. In the eyes of more than 99% of the people in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, this was the case. Therefore, they treasured this opportunity very much. Because this opportunity was not something that could be found at any time. The last time the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened was more than 100,000 years ago. The next time it opened, it would be at least 300,000 years ago. On average, it would open once every 100,000 years. Many high-level ultimate gods did not live that long. Those who were not strong enough would be struck to death by the 1,000-year heavenly tribulation before they were 100,000 years old. Because they knew how precious the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was, a group of godly emperors and above would do their best to accumulate chaos points in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. The chaos points would affect the ranking of the same realm rankings. The top 10 of the same realm rankings would receive generous rewards. Even the last place would receive a drop of divine corrupting spring water. It is said that the rewards for the same realm rankings this time are all divine corrupting spring water. The higher the ranking, the more divine corrupting spring water you will receive. 10th place, 1 drop of divine corrupting spring water. 9th place, 2 drops of divine corrupting spring water. 8th place, 4 drops of divine corrupting spring water. 7th place, 8 drops of divine corrupting spring water, and so on. The first place would receive 512 drops of divine corrupting spring water. As the news spread from the descendants of the ultimate experts, the entire upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was in an uproar. No one expected that the rewards for the top of the same realm rankings would be so generous. Originally, they thought that the 10th place would receive a drop of divine corrupting spring water. But now, the first place would receive 512 drops of divine corrupting spring water. Even the second place would receive 256 drops of divine corrupting spring water. The worst of the top 3 would receive 128 drops of divine corrupting spring water. The top 3, I will definitely get it. I must get into the top 3. Getting into the top 3 is a great opportunity. Even the sons of the ultimate experts would not have the chance to receive such generous rewards in their entire lives. I also heard the reward this time was given by a powerful ultimate expert. Even when the other ultimate experts asked him for it, he did not give it. He took it all out as the reward. 1 drop of divine corrupting spring water was nothing. However, 512 drops of divine corrupting spring water sounded terrifying. 512 drops of divine corrupting spring? Even Duan Lingtian was shocked when he heard the news. 512 drops of divine corrupting spring? Really? He even suspected that the news was fake. However, as he walked past a few military camps, and even some descendants of supreme powerhouses personally swore like this, and at the same time, no one refuted him. He vaguely realized that this might be true. Even from the lower Divine Emperor realm to the upper Divine Master realm, there are 9 lists of the same realm. The 9 first places on the same level rankings can all obtain 512 drops of divine corrupting spring water. Oh my God! The supreme expert who took out all these god-corrupting springs couldn't have obtained an entire pool of god-corrupting springs, right? Duan Lingtian was really frightened. He already knew how precious the divine corrupting spring water was before he returned to the mysterious gangland. After returning to the mysterious gangland, he further realized how precious the divine corrupting spring water was from his 4th senior sister, Lang Chunwan. However, as long as he killed his way to the top of the lower Divine Master list, he would be able to obtain 512 drops of divine corrupting spring water. Looks like I have to continue accumulating chaos points. At the same time, I should find out which lower Divine Master has obtained more chaos points and kill him. Even if I can't obtain his chaos points, at least I'll have 1 less competitor. In the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory, no matter how many battle points one obtained, if one was killed, all the battle points would be taken by the opponent. However, the opponent would not be able to obtain the chaos points one accumulated. The opponent would only be able to obtain the insignificant amount of chaos points that should have been obtained by killing one. Of course, for those of the same cultivation level, if one of them died, there would be 1 less competitor. At this moment, it was not only Duan Lingtian, but also those with some strength above the Divine Emperor realm were doing their best to accumulate chaos points. In an area of the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory, the figure of a young girl appeared. After a while, the heaven and earth anomaly of two lower divine masters dying appeared. The young girl's figure appeared with a slightly anxious expression. This time, I've been tricked by third senior brother. I'm only here as a clone. There are too many limitations. Right now, little junior brother should have more chaos points than me. After all, he had already accumulated a lot of battle points before the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory opened. He can open all kinds of secret realms with multiple people. I, on the other hand, have only entered later, so my battle points are limited. This young girl was none other than Duan Lingtian's fourth senior sister, Lang Chunwan. Lang Chunwan had entered the Chaos Territory as a law clone after Duan Lingtian had returned to the Myriad Doctrine Palace in the mysterious gangland. Before that, she had not entered the dimensional battlefield. Forget it. Even if I can't beat youngest junior brother, I can't give the second place on the lower divine master list to an outsider. Youngest junior brother is first and I'm second. That's not bad. This way, the two of us can take the lion's share of the divine corrupting spring reward from the same realm ranking. Lang Chunwan felt much better when she thought of this. Why hasn't the secret realm opened yet? Isn't this too slow? Lang Chunyuan was a little anxious when she thought of the 10-man secret realm that she had opened 2 years ago that had yet to be opened. This time, I don't have enough battle merits to open this secret realm. Why hasn't anyone opened it together? It's too slow. Lang Chunwan was not idle when the secret realm was not opened. She was searching for prey and killing them to obtain chaos points. Even some medium-level ultimate gods had fallen at her hands. In a barren desert, the originally calm desert suddenly had soil flying up and yellow sand filling the sky. A young figure broke through the air and flew out from within. Immediately after, a heaven and earth vision of a medium divine master dying appeared and shocked everyone. After a low roar of unwillingness, everything returned to normal. At this moment, the young man revealed himself. Ningyi. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the distance. It was a middle-aged man. However, judging from the faint light around him, it was obvious that he came from the same plane of gods as Ning Yishuan. Judging from the divine power aura around him, it was obvious he was also a medium-level ultimate god. Wang Qiyun, aren't you worried that I'll kill you for coming at me so brazenly? Ning Yishuan's face darkened when he saw the person. His eyes were gloomy. He had always been at odds with the person in front of him. If the other party's cousin was not his best friend, he would have taught the other party a lesson several times. Ning Yishuan, you won't? The middle-aged man smiled faintly when he heard Ning Yishuan's words and did not take it to heart. You won't kill me for the sake of my brother Ming. I only came forward because I thought it was a coincidence to meet you here. At the same time, I'm also curious if you regret it? I'm afraid you didn't know that the reward for being at the top of the same realm list is so generous, right? If you knew, you wouldn't have broken through to the medium divine master realm, right? As Wang Qiyun asked this question, the smile on his face clearly had a hint of mockery. Do you think I regret it? Ning Yishuan glanced at the person in front of him indifferently. If that's the case, I can only say that your limits are too low. No wonder you haven't completely consolidated your medium divine master cultivation after so many years. A faint mocking smile appeared at the corner of Ning Yishuan's mouth as he spoke. Wang Qiyun's face darkened when he heard his words. Ning Yishuan, don't be too proud. Be careful, or you won't even be able to enter the top 10 of the medium divine master list. Many of the medium divine masters who came in this time are top-notch medium divine masters who have been famous for many years. Not to mention the other planes of gods, there are no less than 20 medium divine masters from our plane of gods that we're familiar with. Humph. You're on your own now. Wang Qiyun flew away as soon as he finished speaking. He was not worried that Ning Yishuan would attack him, as he was certain that Ning Yishuan would not attack him. He had only won the battle of words temporarily and did not want Ning Yishuan to turn the tables on him. Ning Yishuan's mocking smile did not disappear as he looked at the direction Wang Qiyun left in. Instead, it became even more profound. The world in your eyes is just a small river. How can you understand the sea of stars in my eyes? Ning Yishuan was indeed not clear about the specific rewards of the same realm list at first. In the beginning, before the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory opened, the specific rewards for the top few in the same realm list had not been decided. Only the 10th place was given a drop of divine corrupting spring. It was the reward for the top 9 that was decided later. There was nothing else but the divine corrupting spring. Moreover, he knew that an ultimate expert who was even stronger than their Ning clan ancestor had obtained a pool of divine corrupting spring from the extraterrestrial world and used it all as a reward for the same realm list in the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory. If I'm afraid of competing with those medium divine masters just because I've become a medium divine master, then I'm not Ning Yishuan. If I, Ning Yishuan, am afraid of this, how can I possibly surpass Duan Lingtian in the future? Ning Yishuan muttered to himself. His eyes were filled with confidence. Second senior brother, if I surpass you and take first place on the medium divine master list, don't say that I don't respect my elders. Somewhere in the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory, Yang Yuqin, who had just come out of a secret realm with many people, had a big smile on his face. Little junior brother's method is really good. I never thought that there would be a day when I would be a coolie for so many people. I'm really a good person. Chapter 4308. In the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, those who were above the Divine Emperor realm had a chance to enter the ranking list and obtain the Divine Corrupting Spring. After this news spread, many Divine Emperors and above entered the planar battlefield before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened. They wanted to explore the ordinary version of the Chaos Realm and obtain battle merits. Their goal was simple. They wanted to accumulate battle merits before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened. After the upgraded version, they would use the battle merits they accumulated to open a secret realm and obtain chaos points. Even though the last time the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened was many years ago, there were very few people who had experience, and very few people could listen to the words of experienced people. However, as long as one wasn't too stupid, they would be able to figure out that entering a secret realm was the fastest way to obtain chaos points. After all, to obtain chaos points by killing people outside, one had to find the person first. The upgraded version of the Chaos Realm wasn't that big, but it wasn't that small either. It was almost impossible to obtain chaos points by killing people and entering the top 10 of the ranking list. Opening the secret realm and breaking through the secret realm will be the fastest way for us to obtain chaos points. Although there were many ways to obtain chaos points in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, most people had no other choice but to enter a secret realm. Therefore, even if they knew that there might be invincible existences in the secret realm, as long as they wanted to enter the ranking list, there was no other choice. Even if it was dangerous, they still had to open the secret realm. What if the people in the secret realm were as strong as they were? In that case, they would still be able to obtain chaos points normally. It's all that Duan Lingtian's fault. He led those experts astray. Now, that group of experts is forcing others to not do anything after entering the secret realm, and he's the one doing the hard work. I'm so unlucky to have encountered this twice. In the end, this is all because of that Duan Lingtian. He's such a scammer. Haha. I'm quite lucky. I've entered the secret realm 3 times, and I haven't encountered an expert who can suppress others. Let's continue accumulating battle merits. Now, there are less than 10 years before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm closes. When the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm closes, the ranking list will be confirmed. Chaos was everywhere in the upgraded Chaos Realm. The chaos here referred to was a group of people who were wantonly searching for chaotic points to obtain chaotic points. They were doing everything they could to obtain chaotic points. In fact, every few days, a new secret realm would open. This frequency could be said to be extremely exaggerated. In the various secret realms, there were also experts suppressing others, forcing them not to make a move. They were the only ones who could deal with the various obstacles and obtain chaos points. When Duan Lingtian walked out of a secret realm and entered the military camp, he found out that his reputation as a good laborer in the secret realm had spread everywhere. In fact, many experts were imitating him. Of course, those who could imitate him were all peak existences in their respective cultivation realms without exception. After all, The method he used to obtain chaos points in the secret realm required absolute strength to support it. Those without strength would be courting death if they tried to do so. Perhaps he would be killed by the others. And there were many such examples. Recently, more and more people are opening mystic realms. Now that I'm opening a mystic realm, I don't have to wait too long. To Duan Lingtian, this was a good thing. Of course, he knew that it was a good thing for others as well. Continue to work hard. In less than 10 years, the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm will close. Right now, if Kerr was here, she would have definitely heard of me. However, I've searched all the military camps in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, but I haven't seen her. Has she already left the planar battlefield? Or is she also accumulating chaotic points in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm? Duan Lingtian had never forgotten his initial goal of entering the planar battlefield. He had come here to find his wife, Kerr. Increasing his strength was only his secondary goal. However, as time passed, he still hadn't found his wife. He had a faint feeling that perhaps his wife had already left the planar battlefield. As for his wife, Kerr's safety, if it was in the past, he might have been worried. But now, as his strength increased, he had an unusual understanding of this world. He had a faint feeling that his wife, Kerr, was still alive and well. If something happened to her, he would sense it. He had also asked some people in some military camps about this matter. The answer he received was that when a person grasped a certain law of this world and one of the four Taoists of heaven and earth to a certain extent, they would be more in tune with this world. They would also be able to sense the life and death of those close to them. It was also because of this that Duan Lingtian could now explore the various secret realms with peace of mind and accumulate chaotic points. Whoosh! Somewhere in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, the entrance to a secret realm appeared. Wearing a purple robe, Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed as he entered in a timely manner. This time, I'll have to work as a coolie for my other 9 companions again. I, Duan Lingtian, am such a good person. As he entered, Duan Lingtian sighed with emotion. Moments after Duan Lingtian appeared in the secret realm, before he could approach the few figures in the distance, a familiar voice rang in his ears. Listen up, all of you. I'll take care of all the checkpoints in this secret realm. If anyone is dissatisfied, you can come up and wrestle with me. Duan Lingtian stared ahead, and with just a glance, he recognized the young girl that was hooting with her hands on her hips. 4th senior sister? Duan Lingtian had an astounded expression. His luck was really good to meet his 4th senior sister here. To be more precise, he met his 4th senior sister's law clone. This isn't going to be easy. Should I give in to 4th senior sister? Or should I hide my identity and suppress her as well? Although Duan Lingtian was not completely clear about his 4th senior sister Lang Chunwon's strength, he had a rough understanding. Moreover, this was only his 4th senior sister Lang Chunwon's law clone. So strong. I didn't expect to be so unlucky to meet such a powerful existence. It seems that this battle merit is wasted. Indeed, it's wasted. While Duan Lingtian was still in a daze, a few voices sounded in the distance, their voices full of helplessness. It was Lang Chunwon in the distance. Facing the few people who had blindly stepped forward, she only needed a few casual moves to seriously injure and suppress them. The few people who had not made a move were so frightened that their expressions turned ugly, and they did not dare to act rashly. 4th senior sister is so arrogant. When he saw the smug look on the young girl's face in the distance, Duan Lingtian quickly made a decision in his heart. Then, he directly used his divine power to break through his body and conceal his aura. At the same time, his face also underwent a subtle change. As long as one did not deliberately probe his face with divine sense, it was basically impossible to see through his concealment technique. He had also changed his purple robe into a white robe, which made him look radiant and dazzling. Duan Lingtian knew his 4th senior sister very well. If she approached him in her true appearance, she would still ask for a battle to determine the ownership of this secret realm. If he defeated her, she would not want this secret realm. If he deliberately gave in to her, she would not accept it. Little girl, your strength is not bad. Duan Lingtian deliberately let out a cold snort. Then, he flew out of the void and directly attacked Lang Chunwon. His momentum was mighty, and the heaven and earth vision that illuminated millions of miles appeared. Another powerhouse has come. At the same time, the others were also shocked. They did not expect to meet two such powerful existences this time. Since these two people have encountered each other, it's inevitable that they will fight. As long as they can't reach a consensus, we still have a chance. As for the other 8 people, regardless of whether they were injured when they attacked Lang Chunwon earlier or not, at this time, they looked at each other and saw the same meaning in each other's eyes. At the same time, they saw that the suddenly violent white-robed middle-aged man was already fighting with the terrifying girl in their eyes. Duan Lingtian was now in his middle-aged appearance. At this moment, Lang Chunwon was also fighting with Duan Lingtian. As soon as they started fighting, her expression changed. So strong. She suddenly began to doubt her life. She originally thought that her strength was definitely at the top of the lower ultimate gods in this upgraded version of the Chaos territory. Even if it was just a law clone, it was enough to defeat everyone. Previously, everything had been very smooth. However, at this moment, she had encountered an extremely powerful existence. His skills are similar to Little Junior Brother's. However, I feel that he's stronger than Little Junior Brother. Let's work harder and defeat him. It's best if he's seriously injured. That way, Little Junior Brother and I will have one less competitor. After sensing the strength of her opponent, Lang Chunwon's expression became more solemn. At the same time, she kept scolding her third senior brother in her heart. If her third senior brother had not tricked her, she would have entered with her original body and her strength would be even stronger. Duan Lingtian did not deliberately hold back when he attacked. He even attacked with a violent storm, so that his fourth senior sister would not have the time to use her divine consciousness to check on her. She had no time to deal with him. As for Lang Chunyuan, after fighting for a while, her expression changed greatly. This was because she realized that she was no match for her opponent. Just a nomological clone? Duan Lingtian's indifferent and low voice sounded again. If your original body was here, I might be a little afraid. Since it's just a law clone, you'd better stay aside. As soon as he finished speaking, Duan Lingtian's attack sent Lang Chunwon flying. To be precise, Lang Chunwon's law clone was sent flying. The others were shocked when they heard Duan Lingtian's words, especially those who were injured by Lang Chunwon. They were completely stunned. A law clone? That girl was just a law clone. Chapter 4309. 4 lower ultimate gods from the world of divine, offering, and 4 lower ultimate gods from the Xingang land began to doubt their lives at this moment. They were all lower ultimate gods, but one of her law avatars had severely injured half of them while she remained unscathed. What shocked them even more was that the person who came in with them had defeated her law avatars and spoke as if he was no weaker than her true self. Why are we so unlucky to meet these 2 monsters? The battle merits we spent this time are wasted, let alone the chaotic points. I think we're not the only ones who are unlucky. This girl is also unlucky. This girl's true self and law avatars have split up to open multiple secret realms, but her law avatars just happened to meet her. If it's her true self, she might be able to defeat her. The 8 people from the profound Handle land and the world of divine remains were whispering to each other. Although they were a little disappointed, it was obvious that their mental fortitude was quite good, and they still had the leisure to pity the young girl who was only a law avatar. Duan Lingtian, on the other hand, felt as if he had just woken up from a dream after hearing their words. That's right. Why did he only bring his true self to the secret realm? He could have let his law avatars spend battle merits to open other secret realms while his true self and law avatars would fight for the chaotic points in the secret realms at the same time. Did he lack battle merits? Of course not. He did not even dare to spend too many battle merits to open the secret realms as he was afraid that the secret realms would be delayed because there were not enough people, which would affect his earning of chaotic points. After leaving this secret realm, I'll split up with my law avatars. Why didn't I think of this earlier? I wasted 20 years of my time. Forget it. I have less than 10 years left. I'll open the secret realms with my true self and law avatars and fight for the chaotic points in the secret realms separately. Duan Lingtian could not help but look forward to it when he thought of this. But, Suddenly, another question came to his mind. Can we really do this? Fourth Senior Sister's Law avatars can stay here and earn chaotic points like us because her true self is not here. Can her true self and Law avatars really earn chaotic points separately? How do we split the identity tokens? If I split the 2 tokens and let my doppelganger get one, wouldn't I be unable to put the chaotic points of both tokens together? My head hurts. Forget it. I'll try again after we get out. Right now, no matter how much I think about it, it's just a dream. At this point, Duan Lingtian's attention returned to the secret realm. He had even intimidated his 4th Senior Sister Lang Chunwon's Law doppelganger, so she could only stand in the distance and watch. It was not difficult for him to see the unwillingness and anger in his 4th Senior Sister's eyes. After all, it was only because he was a Law avatar that he lost so miserably. In fact, Duan Lingtian knew very well that even if his 4th Senior Sister had come in person and not in her nomological avatar form, she wouldn't have been a match for him. Unknowingly, I've already surpassed 4th Senior Sister. In the past, you were the one who protected me. From now on, I'll protect you. Duan Lingtian glanced at his 4th Senior Sister Lang Chunwon again before he retracted his gaze. He was afraid that she would notice something amiss, and it would be awkward when the time came. Since he had chosen to hide his identity, he had no choice but to go all the way. Otherwise, his 4th Senior Sister would be even more displeased. After that, Duan Lingtian cleared the series of obstacles in the secret realm one by one. However, throughout the entire process, it was as if he was treading on thin ice. He was deeply afraid that his 4th Senior Sister would recognize him. Fortunately, his 4th Senior Sister Lang Chunwon did not notice anything amiss. He successfully cleared the secret realm. During this process, he was worried that his 4th Senior Sister Lang Chunwon would find out that the 4 of them came from the divine offering land. Therefore, he deliberately separated the 4 people from the divine offering land from the other 4 people from the Xinjiang land. He didn't want to expose his identity by chatting with these people when he was going through the levels later on. I'm finally out. 4th Senior Sister must be very depressed to meet me this time, right? Duan Lingtian could not help but sigh when he thought of the usually lively girl who could only watch him from afar with a depressed expression. He had thought of going easy on his 4th Senior Sister, but he also knew that once he revealed his true identity, his 4th Senior Sister would not let him go easy on her. Now that I'm out, let's see if I can clear the secret realm with my law clone at the same time. When he thought of this, Duan Lingtian's space law clone appeared with a thought. Then, he began to experiment. Soon, he realized that it was similar to what he had thought before. His law clone could enter the secret realm, but he could only enter with another identity. His law clone could form another identity token if he acted alone, but the battle merits and chaos points obtained would not belong to him. In fact, his law clone could not even use his own battle merits. Unless his original body left the dimensional battlefield, only then would he be able to leave his identity token and battle merits to his law clone. That doesn't make much sense. At most, I can let my law clone enter the top 10 with another identity and obtain 2 places? Duan Lingtian thought to himself. Now, it's less than 10 years. Even if I let my law clone enter the lower ultimate god list with a new identity, it'll be too late. The fastest way to obtain chaos points in the secret realm is to open it. Opening the secret realm requires battle merits. If my law clone acts with another identity, he'll have to accumulate battle merits first. When he thought of this, Duan Lingtian completely abandoned the idea of letting his law clone act alone because it was meaningless. Even entering the top 10 of the lower ultimate god list was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. It was better to follow his original body and join forces with him at a critical moment, allowing him to unleash even more powerful strength. Under normal circumstances, I shouldn't have any opponents among the lower ultimate gods. After all, even Ning Yishuan, who was previously recognized as the #1 lower ultimate god in the god-defying world, was defeated by me. In Duan Lingtian's opinion, Ning Yishuan was a clear reference. Of course, the current Ning Yishuan had most likely entered the medium ultimate god realm. Even if he had not entered the medium ultimate god realm, Duan Lingtian was not afraid to compete with him. I'll continue to open the secret realm for 10 people. Now, everyone is opening the secret realm for 10 people. I'm not the only one who's keen to be a laborer. I don't have to worry about them not opening the secret realm for 10 people. In the past, a group of lower ultimate gods did not dare to open the secret realm for 10 people because of Duan Lingtian's existence. Now that the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory was opened, even if a group of lower ultimate gods knew that Duan Lingtian was there, they would not be afraid of opening the secret realm for 10 people. Even if they met Duan Lingtian, they would at most be unlucky but would not die. If they did not meet Duan Lingtian, they would be lucky and would be able to obtain a large number of chaos points. Only the top 10 on the list of the same realm would be rewarded with the divine corrupting spring. While Duan Lingtian was waiting for the next secret realm for 10 people to open, a group of lower ultimate gods were also waiting for the next secret realm to open. Among them, there was no lack of descendants of ultimate gods. If there are no surprises, the first place on the list of lower ultimate gods should be Duan Lingtian. Now, let's fight for the second or third place. Now, the biggest competitor is Duan Lingtian. However, Duan Lingtian is too strong. I've given up on competing with him. Fight for the second or third place. Fortunately, Ning Yishuan has made a breakthrough. Otherwise, there's no hope for the second place. I don't know what's wrong with Hongzhangyi. He didn't kill Duan Lingtian. So what if he doesn't give face to Ning Yishuan? I heard that Hongzhangyi, who almost killed Duan Lingtian, is dead. He's really unlucky. He's really unlucky. It's a pity that he didn't kill Duan Lingtian. Otherwise, the matter of killing Duan Lingtian is destined to be a gift to us. Each and every one of them was a descendant of a supreme being. Usually, they did not lack the usual cultivation resources. However, the cultivation resources that could bring them were extremely limited. Even the ultimate expert's favorite son could only reach lower ultimate god if his talent and comprehension were limited. Unless the ultimate expert was lucky enough to obtain a large amount of divine corrupting spring in the outer realm or a treasure similar to the divine corrupting spring that could help people improve their cultivation. Such treasures were as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns in the outer realm. This time, a pool of divine corrupting spring appeared in the god-defying realm. It could be said that it was the first time in the history of the god-defying realm that such a good thing had happened. That pool of divine corrupting spring was basically taken out by the ultimate expert who obtained it as a reward for the upgraded version of the list of peers in the Chaos region. The reward for the list of peers in the Chaos region this time is much better than any of the previous times. My great-grandfather said that we must bring back at least a few drops of divine corrupting spring. Our old ancestor also said that he wanted to ask for a few drops of divine corrupting spring from that person. But that person's attitude was very firm. He was not willing to give away even a single drop of divine corrupting spring. He said that he would take all of it out as a reward for cultivating the younger generation. Our old ancestor also said that that person wants us, the younger generation, to grow as quickly as possible so that more ultimate experts can appear. It's said that the situation in the outer realm is getting worse. I'm not too sure about the matters of the outer realm. However, the ancestor of our sect often appeared to preach Tao to us. However, in the past 10,000 years, he hasn't appeared again. It is said that he is busy with something outside. I guess it has something to do with the outer realm. At this moment, the descendants of the ultimate experts were like ordinary people. They were obtaining battle merits in the upgraded version of the Chaos region and accumulating battle merits before opening the secret realm for multiple people. Among them, the stronger ones were enthusiastically working as coolies for the others. If they encountered an ultimate expert, they could only watch the others work for them. At this time, it was related to obtaining chaos points and the competition for the list of peers in the Chaos region. Even if they revealed their noble identities as the descendants of the ultimate experts, not many people would be willing to pay attention to them. End of this chapter. Chapter 43:10. Now that the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory had opened, not only did the group of lesser ultimate gods think Duan Lingtian would be ranked first on the lesser ultimate gods ranking, but even those with a lower cultivation base were certain he would be ranked first. Duan Lingtian was a genius and a monster. He was not even 1,000 years old, but he had already defeated Ning Yishuan, who was previously recognized as the strongest person in the younger generation of the Reverse God Realm. Then, before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened, Duan Lingtian entered many secret realms and swept through, plundering treasures and resources. It could be said that he had indirectly obtained more battle merits. After that, when the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened, he repeated the same trick and occupied many secret realms to obtain chaos points for himself. Even if other people did the same later, they were all learning from him and imitating him. It's hard to imagine how many chaos points Duan Lingtian has now. Perhaps, even if there is a chaos points overall list, he will be first. The upgraded version of the Chaos Realm doesn't seem to have a chaos points overall list, right? Previously, when that supreme expert publicly stated the rules of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, he did not mention a chaos points overall list. He only mentioned 9 chaos points overall list. In the past, has there ever been a Chaos Realm overall list in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm? I'm not too sure. I only know that there was no Chaos Realm overall list in the previous upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. Now, in the various military camps of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, many people were talking about the young man who came from the Xingang land but was mingling in the Chaos Realm as a person of the Divine Offering land. A monster who is not even 1,000 years old. When I was not even 1,000 years old, I was still playing with sand with my friends in the clan. You're exaggerating, right? Not even 1,000 years old, more than 900 years old, and still playing with sand. Cough cough. Our bloodline is a little special. After 1,000 years, our intelligence will start to mature. Before 1,000 years old, our intelligence is no different from that of a child. With such a special bloodline, according to common sense, the bloodline power of your clan is either very weak or very strong. It's just SOSO. Many people were not only talking about Duan Lingtian, but also the concept of the overall ranking. And these words were played all over the upgraded Chaos Realm. Soon, it reached the ears of the most important person in the upgraded Chaos Realm, the supreme expert who had obtained a pool of divine spring water. Overall ranking? The handsome white-robed young man was lazily leaning against a pillar in a pavilion that was suspended in the endless void. He was flipping through a book in his hand. He smiled faintly when he heard the middle-aged man's report. Are they sure that Duan Lingtian, a low-level ultimate god, will get the first place on the overall list? As soon as he finished speaking, he paused for a moment and lazily raised his head. His gaze left the book in his hand and looked at the middle-aged man standing there with a look of awe on his face. He calmly said, originally, I plan to keep most of the god-corrupting spring for the next time the planar battlefield opens, and the time after that, and the time after that. Since that's the case, let's have a battle for the overall ranking. There won't be a top 10 on the overall ranking, only the top 3. The third place on the overall ranking will be rewarded more generously than the rewards of the top 10 on the ranking list. The second place on the overall ranking will be rewarded more generously than all the rewards that the top 10 of the ranking list will receive. The first place on the overall ranking will get to bathe in the god-corrupting spring water and an ultimate god's divinity. When the young man mentioned the reward for the third place on the overall ranking, the middle-aged man's expression changed. When he heard the reward for the second place on the overall ranking, his expression changed instantly. When he heard the reward for the first place on the overall ranking, his body trembled slightly. No matter what, he was still a supreme expert. However, when he heard the reward for the first place on the overall ranking, he was still shocked. At this moment, the white-robed young man continued speaking with a hint of frivolity in his tone. If we're going to play, let's play big. I think the first place on the overall ranking won't be mediocre. It's a good thing if we can cultivate an ultimate god in a short period of time. When he spoke up to hear, he paused for a moment before he smiled with ridicule. Earlier, those fellows thought I only obtained a small pool of divine corrupting spring. They didn't know that there were even more divine corrupting springs beneath the small pool I took away. That pool is convex. It looks small on the surface, but there's a world inside. The young man said with a smile, Go. He looked at the middle-aged man and said indifferently, Announce this news to the upgraded Chaos Realm and all the major realm battlefields. I think the upgraded Chaos Realm will be even more lively in less than 10 years. As soon as the young man finished speaking, the middle-aged man's expression changed. Master, if that's the case, I'm afraid Duan won't just be a thorn in the side of the lesser ultimate gods in the upgraded Chaos Realm. At that time, even some intermediate ultimate gods and superior ultimate gods will make a move on Duan for the sake of their friends and family entering the top 3 on the overall ranking. It's not just Duan. Even those who have a chance of entering the top 3 will become a thorn in the side of others. Even the descendants of ultimate gods are no exception. Of course, the descendants of ultimate gods must have a life-saving jade token given to them by the ultimate gods. They might not die if they encounter danger. The middle-aged man looked at the young man again, as though he was waiting for the young man's final confirmation. So what? The young man smiled faintly when he heard the middle-aged man's words. You've cultivated for so many years, and you're a ultimate god now. Can't you see through it? If Duan can't even pass this stage, even if he becomes an ultimate god in the future, he'll only be a mediocre ultimate god. The young man looked at the middle-aged man deeply as he spoke. The middle-aged man felt awkward as he felt the young man's words were hinting at him. A mediocre ultimate god, well, he was indeed at the bottom among the ultimate gods in the god-defying realm. The god-defying realm doesn't need mediocre ultimate gods. What it needs is the strongest of the ultimate gods. The young man's eyes shone brightly as he spoke. The middle-aged man, who was also an ultimate god, did not dare to look at him directly. He quickly lowered his head as his face turned pale. Go. The young man in white robes spoke again. At the same time, he waved his hand casually. It was as though a wave of energy extended and enveloped the middle-aged man, causing him to disappear before his eyes. Before the middle-aged man was sent away, only one thought flashed through his mind. Master, why do you think so highly of Duan? The upgraded Chaos Realm, as well as the various planar battlefields, was destined to not be a peaceful day. In the past, when the ordinary version of the Chaos Realm had started, the voice that had spread everywhere, announcing that the Chaos Realm would be extended and that the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm would be opened rang out again. The upgraded version of the Chaos Realm will end in less than 10 years' time. In the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, apart from the 9 rankings, a new ranking will be opened, the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm's overall ranking. When this voice spread out in all directions, it wasn't just the group of existences below the level of utmost sovereigns who were in the planar battlefield who were stunned. Even the group of utmost sovereigns who were planar battlefield supervisors were stunned. What was going on? Overall ranking? This was not mentioned in the Ultimate Gods Conference before. Of course, they quickly realized that the owner of the voice was the spokesperson of that ultimate god. Obviously, this person was representing that ultimate god. When they thought of this, they felt relieved. If it was that ultimate god, there was no need for the Ultimate Gods Conference to decide on this matter. Even if the Ultimate Gods Conference was held, it would only be a formality. Overall ranking? Is this a joke? There's really an overall ranking? Previously, in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, many people wondered if there would be an overall ranking. If there was an overall ranking, would that monster from the Mystic Starland take first place? But now, there was really an overall ranking? Did those people who talked about the overall ranking have their mouths opened? There's really an overall ranking? The overall ranking's rewards will definitely be better than the Ultimate Gods ranking, right? After all, there are 9 Ultimate Gods ranking, but there's only one overall ranking. That's for sure. I just don't know what kind of rewards will be given. At this moment, whether it was in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm or in the planar battlefields, everyone was listening attentively to the voice that could resound at any time. They believed that there would be more to it. Even if the other party did not announce the specific rewards of the overall ranking, they would definitely say how many people on the overall ranking would be rewarded. In the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, the voice didn't just resound in the outside world. It also resounded in the various secret realms at the same time. Even those who were in the secret realms at this moment could feel an invisible force directly imprisoning them. Whether it was those who were breaking through, those who were acting as gatekeepers, or those who were in other states, all of them found that their bodies were imprisoned. They had consciousness, but they couldn't control their bodies. In fact, Those who were challenging the trials soon realized that as far as their eyes could see, whether it was the moving humans, demons, or turbulent forces, everything had stopped moving. All that was left in their ears was the voice that resounded everywhere, telling them that there would be an overall ranking in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. Overall ranking? Duan Lingtian was acting as a laborer for the other 9 lesser ultimate gods in the world of divine remains. During the process of acting as a laborer, his body was still, but his mind could move. It was not difficult to realize that this was the work of an ultimate god. In other words, it was the work of an ultimate god through the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm and some of the formations in the planar battlefields. There's another overall ranking? What are the rewards for the overall ranking? Are there rewards for the top few? Although Duan Lingtian could not move his body, his eyes were filled with excitement. Chapter 43:11. Just as Duan Lingtian was curious about the rewards for the top rankers of the Chaos Points leaderboard, and what kind of rewards they would receive, that voice resounded once again. Only the top 3 rankers of the Chaos Points leaderboard will receive rewards. Once the voice rang out, everyone who heard it, whether it was in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm or the battlefields on the other planes, fell silent for a moment before they burst into an uproar. Only the top 3 rankers will receive rewards? There are so few spots? The top 10 rankers of the same realm are all ranked. But there are only 3 spots on the Chaos Points leaderboard? Almost everyone found it hard to believe that there would only be 3 spots on the Chaos Points leaderboard. However, in the next moment, many people were secretly shocked. Could it be that a large amount of rewards would be concentrated on these 3 spots? Only 3 spots. What kind of rewards will they get? It's definitely not simple. I even suspect that even the 3rd ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard will receive more than the 1st ranker of the same realm. At this moment, even Duan Lingtian was very curious about the rewards for the top 3 rankers of the Chaos Points leaderboard. When that voice rang out again, informing everyone about the rewards for the top 3 rankers of the Chaos Points leaderboard, even though Duan Lingtian thought that he had seen all kinds of storms along the way, he still couldn't help but tremble in his heart. The 3rd ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard will receive more rewards than the top 10 rankers of the same realm? The 2nd ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard will receive more rewards than the top 90 rankers of the same realm? The 1st ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard. What shocked Duan Lingtian the most was the 1st ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard. The 1st ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard was actually able to bathe in the divine corrupting spring. Moreover, he could absorb the divine corrupting spring at will, even if he sucked the entire pool dry. In addition, he would also receive an omnipotent godhead. Duan Lingtian knew very well what an omnipotent godhead was because he had one himself. The omnipotent who had left behind that omnipotent godhead was an expert in the law of space when he was alive. The omnipotent godhead left behind allowed Duan Lingtian's comprehension of the law of space to advance by leaps and bounds. It could be said that the omnipotent godhead was the reason why Duan Lingtian was able to illuminate the law of space within a million li of space. Without the omnipotent godhead, he might not even be able to illuminate the law of space, let alone the law of space which could illuminate the law of space within a million li of space. Now, the 1st ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard would get was a Supreme Master's Godhead. Even if it's a Supreme Master's Godhead that contains the law of space, it's still very useful to me. In fact, a Supreme Expert's Godhead that contains the law of space would be even more useful to me. B is R is R points R B is R is R is R B R. Our omnipotent godheads of other laws are also our treasures, or they can help me comprehend another law of space quickly. Then, I will have a powerful law clone to use. At this thought, Duan Lingtian's heart trembled with excitement, even though he couldn't move his body. Not many people understood the omnipotent godhead better than him. At the same time, after hearing about the rewards for the top 3 rankers on the Chaos Points leaderboard, heavy breathing could be heard everywhere in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. The omnipotent godhead. That was a heavenly treasure. It could be said that it was the most precious treasure in the entire world. At least, it was the most precious treasure that was known. And now, It was going to be the reward for the top ranker of the Chaos Points leaderboard in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. Everyone was shocked. Everyone's eyes turned red. Who didn't want the omnipotent godhead? Oh my god. The upgraded version of the Chaos Points leaderboard actually has such rich rewards? I suddenly feel that the rewards for the top 3 rankers on the Chaos Realm leaderboard are not so good. Even the third ranker's rewards are better than all the rewards of the Chaos Realm leaderboard combined. So what? Let alone the third ranker on the Chaos Realm leaderboard. Do you think you're qualified to be the third ranker on the Chaos Realm leaderboard? The upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was shaken as well. When the news spread, the various realms of gods were shaken as well. Even those utmost powerful beings could not help but suck in a breath of cold air when they heard this news. That guy still has so many divine corrupting springs? That pool of divine corrupting springs he obtained is actually that much? Didn't the news from the outer realm say that there's only a small pool of divine corrupting springs? I thought the 9 Chaos Realm leaderboards would take away most of the divine corrupting springs he obtained. I didn't expect him to have so much left. If the people from the other 2 realms find out that someone stole so much divine corrupting springs from them, I'm sure they'll want to kill themselves. When all of the utmost powerful beings caught wind of the news that was spreading out from the battlefields of the various dimensions, all of them were quite astounded. Yun Qingyin, the great young master of the Yun clan, who had just returned to the Yun clan in the Divine Offering Land, had an ugly expression on his face when he heard the news. This was because he knew it had nothing to do with him. Even if he entered the realm battlefield and entered the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, he would not be able to make it into the top 10, let alone the top 3 on the overall leaderboard. Impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible for Duan Lingtian to rank first on the overall leaderboard. The news from the realm battlefield was not only about the appearance of a new Chaos Point leaderboard in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, but there were also many who believed that Duan Lingtian had the highest chance of attaining first place. Yun Qingyan's expression was ugly. His father, the clan leader of the Yun clan, Yun Tingfeng, who was also in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, had an ugly expression on his face when he heard the news. I can't let him continue to grow. If he really ranks first on the overall leaderboard, he'll definitely be valued by some supreme experts. This won't be good for me to kill him. It's best if I can kill him before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm begins. There are less than 10 years left. Even if I can't enter the higher ultimate god ranking, I have to find him and kill him. After taking a deep breath, Yun Tingfeng, who had just come out of a secret zone, began to gather information about Duan Lingtian. He intended to kill Duan Lingtian the moment Duan Lingtian appeared. There are so many people who want to kill Duan Lingtian. Yun Tingfeng soon discovered that he was not the only one who was searching for Duan Lingtian. Even a group of higher ultimate gods and intermediate ultimate gods were looking for Duan Lingtian as well. However, when Yun Tingfeng thought about how Duan Lingtian would not be able to rank first on the overall leaderboard, he felt relieved. I'm afraid it won't be easy for Duan Lingtian to survive this time. Yun Tingfeng smirked inwardly. At the same time, he did not continue to search for Duan Lingtian. He felt that his strength alone was not comparable to the strength of a group of people. It did not matter if he was one less person. He should strive to rank in the top 3 of the higher ultimate god ranking. The god-corrupting spring was not very useful to him, but it was a treasure to his good-for-nothing son. It could allow his son to quickly raise his cultivation base and strength. I hope little Tian is safe. In another area of the upgraded Chaos territory, a young man dressed in a long green robe was hiding his tracks as he walked. While Duan Lingtian was being hunted down, Feng Qingyang, who was Duan Lingtian's master, had become a thorn in the side of many people. This was because he had a high chance of ranking in the top 3 of the overall leaderboard. Of course, most of the attention was focused on Duan Lingtian. None of them want the master and disciple to rank in the top 3 of the overall leaderboard. I, Feng Qingyang, will not let them do as they wish. I'll definitely rank in the top 3 of the overall leaderboard. Sword Chi soared into the sky, and Feng Qingyang disappeared into a dark swamp in the blink of an eye. Not long after, a few figures also passed through the swamp. I heard that the higher ultimate god went in this direction. Is he that fast? We are medium ultimate gods after all. That higher ultimate God's strength cannot be judged by common sense. It would be hard to find someone stronger than him among the lower ultimate gods. The opening of the dimensional battlefield this time is really full of monsters. First, there was Duan Lingtian, and now there's a higher ultimate god. Both of them are skilled in the way of the sword. Alright, stop sighing. Let's try to find that higher ultimate god and kill him as soon as possible. Once he's dead, we'll have one less competitor in the overall leaderboard. Even though they knew that they might not rank in the top 3 of the overall leaderboard even if they killed the higher ultimate god, this group of people did not let go of their desire to kill Feng Qingyang. Most of them subconsciously felt that it would be difficult for a medium ultimate god or even a higher ultimate god to make it into the top 3 of the overall leaderboard. How could a higher ultimate god like Duan Lingtian do that? Of course, the people who were chasing after Feng Qingyang were mostly people who happened to hear about his whereabouts. Very few people went out of their way to hunt him down. In the entire upgraded Chaos territory, Duan Lingtian was the only one who received such treatment. Around the same time, Duan Lingtian's third senior brother, Yang Yuchen, and fourth senior sister, Lang Chunwan, were also very worried about Duan Lingtian's safety. This time, little junior brother is in big trouble. I hope little junior brother can hide well. Now, the chances of me finding little junior brother are not high. If I can find him, the others can too. Whether it was Yang Yuchen or Lang Chunwan, they all knew that the upcoming crisis could only depend on their little junior brother himself. They would not be able to help in any way. Of course, even so, when they sensed that a group of people in the upgraded Chaos territory were targeting their little junior brother, Duan Lingtian, they still felt a little uneasy. Right now, it could be said that their little junior brother was surrounded by enemies in this upgraded version of the Chaos realm. However, at this moment, Duan Lingtian was leisurely making his way through the secret realm. Under the envious gazes of the other 9 people, Duan Lingtian managed to obtain many treasures and chaos points that he could not see. End of chapter. Chapter 43:12. At that moment, Duan Lingtian still did not know that he was being targeted by everyone. Of course, even though he did not know, Duan Lingtian could still vaguely sense the danger when he left the secret realm with enough benefits and chaos points. The tallest tree in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. In the past, those who wanted to target me were only the descendants of lower-level ultimate gods and some of the best lower-level ultimate gods. Now that the chaos points total list has been released, I'm afraid that in the upgraded Chaos territory, those who want to be on the total list or those who have relatives or friends who want to be on the total list will see me as a thorn in their side and target me. While leaving the secret realm, Duan Lingtian did not feel happy because of the great harvest this time. Instead, he looked solemn and was extremely vigilant. He was afraid that he would be recognized as soon as he was teleported out. If the other party was weak, it would be fine. If they were strong and he could not fight against them, then he would be in trouble. Therefore, almost as soon as he was teleported out and landed, he quickly teleported and teleported a second time, disappearing on the spot. After 2 teleportations, he began to look left and right, staring at his surroundings. With just a glance, he saw 2 people fighting nearby. These 2 people were both medium-level ultimate gods with decent strength. Both of them had mastered the power of law that could illuminate millions of miles. They were fighting fiercely and were evenly matched. However, almost as soon as Duan Lingtian appeared, both of them stopped fighting because neither of them wanted to be the Oriole behind and reap the benefits. At the same time, Duan Lingtian could also feel 2 divine senses sweeping over and enveloping him in the blink of an eye. Seeing this, his heart sank and a hint of killing intent flashed in the depths of his eyes. Although these 2 people were quite strong, if he attacked with all his strength, it was not impossible to kill them. However, it would be a bit noisy. Moreover, if the 2 of them joined forces, it would be difficult to kill them in a short time. Once they started fighting, it might attract the attention of more people nearby, which was not a good thing for him. Did they recognize me? If they recognize us, we must kill them even if there is a risk of alerting the others. At this moment, Duan Lingtian was fearless in the face of the 2 medium ultimate gods probing. His eyes even flashed with murderous intent. The two mid-level ultimate gods were surprised to see a low-level ultimate god not afraid of them. Seeing their stunned expressions, Duan Lingtian suddenly realized that these two people did not recognize him. It made sense when he thought about it. Although he had killed quite a few people in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, when he was killing, there was basically no one around him. Even if there were people watching in the dark, they wouldn't dare to rashly record a scryer recording because there would be weak energy fluctuations during the recording process. It was easy to alarm the person being recorded. Meanwhile, the people who were hiding in the dark and watching Duan Lingtian make a move but did not dare to show themselves were basically people whose strength was inferior to Duan Lingtian. Naturally, they did not dare to alarm Duan Lingtian because of this. Therefore, in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, except for some people who had recorded Duan Lingtian's scryer recording in the mysterious gangland, or those who had seen Duan Lingtian before, basically no one knew the real face of Duan Lingtian. Let's go. Since he had confirmed that the two people did not recognize him and that they had no intention of attacking him, Duan Lingtian did not stay and immediately teleported away. Retreat. The two mid-level ultimate gods almost simultaneously looked in the direction where Duan Lingtian had teleported away. Although it was teleportation, both of them were mid-level ultimate gods. It was not difficult for them to determine the direction where Duan Lingtian had teleported away because there would be fluctuations in space energy there. Then, both of them looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. The two people from different planes of gods who were originally fighting looked at each other. They did not look like two opponents who were fighting to the death a moment ago. That lower ultimate god doesn't seem to be afraid of us? One of the mid-level ultimate gods asked uncertainly. He thought he was mistaken. Earlier, when that lower ultimate god stared at them, he did not seem to be afraid of them at all. Was that the reaction of a lower ultimate god? He seems to be a lower ultimate god who has just entered the ultimate god realm. The other mid-level ultimate god was also shocked. As a mid-level ultimate god, it was not difficult for him to see that Duan Lingtian had just entered the ultimate god realm from the divine energy that was surging around him. However, such a person was not afraid of two mid-level ultimate gods at all. It seemed like he even wanted to kill them. One should know that Duan Lingtian had seen them fight when he first appeared. They were both mid-level ultimate gods who had mastered the power of law that could illuminate millions of miles. They were the cream of the crop among the mid-level ultimate gods. They were at least in the second echelon of mid-level ultimate gods. The first echelon of mid-level ultimate gods were those who could kill higher ultimate gods who had consolidated their cultivation base. As for them, they could only fight higher ultimate gods who had just entered the ultimate god realm. Could it be? Suddenly, both of them looked at each other again and thought of the same possibility at the same time. A young man in a purple robe. He looks very young. Could it really be him? Both of them looked at each other several times before they said the same name almost in unison. Duan Lingtian. In the next instant, after confirming the other party was Duan Lingtian, not only did they no longer continue to fight, but they also flew toward the nearby military camp. Soon, they entered the military camp and spread the news of Duan Lingtian's appearance. They did not expect to enter the overall ranking. However, one of them had a clansman who had a chance to enter the top 3 if Duan Lingtian died. He had spread the news of Duan Lingtian's appearance. Once Duan Lingtian died, the clan behind him would not treat him badly. In fact, even the supreme expert behind his clan might reward him. This was because the clansman who had a chance to enter the top 3 if Duan Lingtian died was a direct descendant of the supreme expert behind his clan. He was also the supreme expert's favorite descendant. That person even had a projection jade slip of the supreme expert's great ancestor in his clan. This showed how much the great ancestor valued him. As for the other person, although he did not have any clansmen or friends who had a chance to enter the top 3, he could not stand the rise of a genius who defied the natural order. It would be a good thing for him if such a genius died because of his informant. At that moment, both of them returned to the military camp and spread the news of Duan Lingtian's appearance. It attracted a lot of attention. Many medium and high-level ultimate gods left the military camp and headed towards the place where Duan Lingtian had appeared not long ago. Among the crowd, there were also people who stared at the two informants with a murderous glint in their eyes. Little junior brother. He actually appeared nearby. This was a young man with a handsome appearance. He wore a long white robe, and he had an elegant bearing like a scholar. Shockingly, he was Duanling Tian's third senior brother in the Myriad Jurisprudence Palace's inner palace, Yang Yuchan. Yang Yuchin did not expect to hear news of his little junior brother's appearance in the vicinity half a day after he arrived at the military camp. After memorizing the faces of the two informants, Yang Yuchun followed the crowd and left the military camp. Just like the others, he headed in the direction where Duanling Tian had appeared not long ago. Unlike the others who wanted to hunt down Duanling Tian, Yang Yuchin's purpose was very simple. If he could find his little junior brother, he would meet up with him and protect him. He even wanted to help his little junior brother kill his opponent when he was in danger. Although Duanling Tian did not know that the two of them had already guessed his identity after he left, he had no idea they had already guessed his identity. However, he did not walk in a straight line. After spending a lot of battle merits to open a secret realm of 10 people, Duanling Tian would change places and wander around every once in a while. However, there were too many people searching for him. Among these people, some acted according to common sense and searched for Duanling Tian in a straight line, while others acted contrary to common sense and wandered around looking for Duanling Tian. Furthermore, the speed of these people was very fast. Those who dared to hunt down Duanling Tian were the cream of the crop, even if they were medium ultimate gods. Generally, the cream of the crop of medium ultimate gods would not dare to act alone and would move in groups. As for the group of high-level ultimate gods, they were basically the kind who had consolidated their cultivation base. Even if some of them had not consolidated their cultivation base, they would still travel in groups. A group of people chasing after Duanling Tian. Some were just there to join in the fun while some really wanted to kill Duanling Tian. They were overwhelming like a swarm of locusts passing through. At that moment, although Duanling Tian was wandering around, there were still many experts like a swarm of locusts that were getting closer and closer to him. He did not know. In fact, even those experts didn't know about it. It should be safe now, right? After traveling for a few days and wandering around, Duanling Tian felt he had been careful enough and should be able to shake off some people who recognized him along the way. Therefore, he entered a big canyon and found a place to rest for a short while. He was not in a hurry to continue wandering outside. Right now, he also needed time to rest. He was not physically tired, but he was mentally exhausted. Although this exhaustion did not seem obvious, in this state, if he were to engage in a fierce battle with someone weaker than him, he might not even be able to escape alive if he were to meet someone stronger than him. Even if he were to meet someone who was as strong as him, there was a risk of him being defeated. I'll rest for a few days before setting off. After making up his mind, Duanling Tian entered the depths of the canyon and dug out a cave. He also set up multiple formations outside and even made some other concealment. Then, he entered the cave to rest. He sat cross-legged on the ground and emptied his mind, leaving only a trace of consciousness to communicate with the formations. On the second day after Duanling Tian emptied his mind, 4 figures came together and arrived above the canyon where Duanling Tian was. At the same time, 4 divine senses were sent into the canyon. There's a formation fluctuation. There's someone inside. The 4 figures swept together like lightning and arrived at the depths of the canyon in the blink of an eye. Chapter 43:13. It's a formation. Someone's in there. Be careful. Don't use your divine consciousness to probe further to avoid triggering the formation. 4 figures, for mid-level ultimate gods, were familiar with each other and came from the same plane of gods. They were even fellow disciples. This was because they were all disciples of the same high-level ultimate god expert. They were either direct disciples or in-name disciples. Even the in-name disciples were not weak. However, due to their age, their chances of becoming a high-level ultimate god were slim. Therefore, they were only accepted as in-name disciples by the high-level ultimate god expert. Of course, someone who could make the best medium-level ultimate gods like them willingly become his unofficial disciple was no ordinary person. The person was one of the top high-level ultimate gods. His strength was comparable to the leaders of the ultimate god forces in the various planes of gods. In fact, He was one of the strongest people in their planes of gods and was recognized as one of the strongest people's representatives. He was also one of the strongest people in the planes of gods. He was in existence with a supreme divine weapon and was one of the top existences among the upper-level ultimate gods. Senior brothers, do you think the person hiding in there could be Duan Lingtian? The 4 mid-level ultimate gods entered the canyon cautiously. None of them dared to make any rash moves. The only middle-aged man among the 4 was asking the other 3 in a low voice. Of course, although he was speaking, he had isolated a certain distance away from the surface of his body to prevent the outside world from transmitting his voice. It's possible. Regardless of whether it's possible or not, we have to take a closer look. What if it's Duan Lingtian and we missed it? Hehe. If it's Duan Lingtian, once we kill him and record his scryer image, even if Master doesn't get into the top 3 in the overall ranking, the 4 of us will still be famous in the plains of gods. Even Master won't mistreat us. The other 3 looked like old men, but each one of them was full of vigor. It was just that they looked old on the outside, but they were full of vigor, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. Duan Lingtian is proficient in the laws of space. In order to prevent him from teleporting away, junior brother Yang Chun, you are also proficient in the laws of space. You are in charge of disrupting the surrounding space and preventing him from teleporting away. Among the 3 old men, an old man with a dignified aura spoke loudly to another old man. All right. The old man named Yang Chun responded immediately. Then, he silently extended his divine energy that had been fused with the law of space. If it's really Duan Lingtian, he's also skilled in the law of space. Moreover, he's also comprehended the law of space to the point where his light can illuminate 1,000,000 miles. No matter how discreet my actions are, he'll be able to detect it very quickly. I know. As long as you disturb the surrounding space, we will attack together in the next instant, break the formation over there, and force the person inside out. If the 4 of us work together, we won't even be afraid of an ordinary high-level ultimate god. Even if he's the best among the high-level ultimate gods and is stronger than all of us combined. As long as we reveal our identities and why we're attacking, I'm sure he won't hold it against us. It was obvious that they had already thought of a way out. Junior brother Yang Chun, after 10 breaths, the 3 of us will form an encirclement and trap the person hiding inside. You'll be in charge of disrupting the space and preventing him from teleporting away. Collect free good books, follow V. X. Recommend the books you like and receive cash red packets. If it's Duan Lingtian, we'll just surround and kill him. If it's not him, we'll kill him even if it's just an ordinary mid-level ultimate god. If it's a low-level ultimate god, we'll let him live. After all, we'll lose our chaos points if we kill them. If it's a high-level ultimate god, there's no need to fight him and waste our strength. Just say it's a misunderstanding. Perhaps we'll wake him up from his seclusion and inform him that Duan Lingtian might be nearby. He might even thank us. After the dignified old man greeted Yang Chun, he led the other old man and the only middle-aged man toward the formation in the depths of the canyon. Then, the 3 of them stepped into the air and stood in 3 different directions, overlooking the entire canyon. Do it. 10 breaths after the dignified old man and Yang Chun spoke, the dignified old man took the initiative to speak. His voice reverberated in the surroundings as he made his move the moment he finished speaking. Golden light burst out, and the old man seemed to have turned into a golden man in an instant. His entire body was shining with golden light as he turned into a sword and shot toward the sky. Whoosh! The sword whistled as the sharp sword pierced through the air. A vision of heaven and earth that illuminated 1,000,000 miles of land appeared and surrounded the area. It was a majestic sight. Following this, the entire canyon trembled as a massive black hole appeared. Countless cracks spread out, causing countless rocks to fly everywhere. At the same time, the other 2 people beside the dignified old man who was proficient in the law of gold also made their moves. Another 2 light shields that illuminated 1,000,000 miles of the law of gold appeared. 3 different colored rays of the law of gold illuminated 1,000,000 miles of land and shrouded 1,000,000 miles of land. Suddenly, another ray of the law of gold illuminated 1,000,000 miles of land appeared. A total of 4 rays of the law of gold illuminated 1,000,000 miles of land within 1,000,000 miles of land. For a moment, it attracted the attention of many people, for medium ultimate gods had made their move. Could it be that someone has found Duan? At the same time, many people had the same thought in their minds and quickly moved toward the place where the person who made the move was. Bang! The vast and deep canyon was instantly shattered by the 4 rays of energy. The layers of formation in the depths of the canyon were also shattered in an instant. Poof! Duan, who was in closed-door cultivation, also woke up at the same time. The moment he woke up, he realized that almost all of the formation he had set up had been destroyed. The only thing that remained was the defensive formation formed by the formation plate. Cracks had appeared on it, and it was because of this layer of protection that he was only slightly injured. Otherwise, his injuries would not have been so light. Have I been discovered? Impossible. There's no divine consciousness at all, unless it's an ultimate god. Otherwise, even if it's the divine consciousness of a higher ultimate god, my formation will give me feedback immediately. What's going on? At that moment, various thoughts appeared in Duan mind. Before he could finish his thoughts, he was ready to teleport away. However, he quickly realized that the surrounding space was disturbed and could not teleport at all. At the same time, a surprised voice came from outside. Senior Brother Lei, this person wants to teleport away. He's proficient in the law of space. It's very likely to be Duan. Chapter 43:14. Hiding in the Grand Canyon. Multiple defensive formations. An expert in the law of space. At almost the same instant that Yang Chun's voice sounded, the eyes of the other 3 lit up in unison. Duan. It could be Duan. Kill. Senior Brother Lei, who was an expert in the law of metal, took the lead and attacked. When the golden sword light shot out again, there was a faint sword aura in it. It was the sword principle. In the Grand Canyon, Duan had just come to his senses and realized that he could not teleport. However, he did not stay idle and immediately moved out. A space storm brewed around him and turned into thousands of sword lights. In the collapsed canyon, Duan figure soared into the sky amidst the dust and debris. He was not an expert in the law of Earth. Although he could dig a hole to escape, it was not very efficient. It would be fine if there were no experts in the law of Earth, but if there were, he would be digging his own grave. For people, one is an expert in the law of space, one is an expert in the law of metal, and there's also the embryonic form of the sword principle. As for the other 2, one is an expert in the law of fire, and the other is an expert in the law of earth. There really are experts in the law of earth. Luckily, I didn't dig a hole to escape. When he saw that one of the 3 people rushing down from above was an expert in the law of earth that could illuminate millions of miles, Duan knew that he was right to be careful. 4 medium-level ultimate gods. They're the best of the best among the medium-level ultimate gods. Even if they're not the best, they're close. If it was me in the past, I wouldn't even be able to escape from them. As for now, Duan eyes narrowed as he flew in the direction of the old man who was an expert in the law of space. At that moment, the old man also noticed Duan movement, and his expression changed slightly. He then flew towards the other 3 to meet up with them. He did not dare to face Duan alone. A medium-level ultimate god like him had died at the hands of Duan. Only when the 4 of them worked together could they ensure his safety. Trying to escape? You can't leave. The corners of Duan mouth curled up into a sneer. Then, the law of space around him surged out as a terrifying aura spread out and shrouded a large area. A moment later, the figure of the old man who was skilled in the law of space was also enveloped by this aura. Control. At this moment, Duan eyes narrowed as he unleashed the way of control without holding back. Together with the law of space that illuminated 1,000,000 miles, he instantly controlled the surrounding space. By disrupting space, you will be closely linked to this space. It won't be that easy for you to leave. Duan sneered. Then, he controlled the old man who was well-versed in the law of space. The space energy around the old man turned into a cage that he could use to bind the old man. In the next instant, the old man's body froze in place. At the same time, he discovered that his interference with the surrounding space was also cut off by the surrounding space power. He could no longer affect Duan Lingtian's teleportation. How could this be? His way of control has reached the point where he can illuminate 1,000,000 miles of the law of space. The old man's facial expression changed drastically. The information was wrong. Duan Lingtian's way of control was not as weak as the rumors said. Oh my God. However, he had never heard of anyone in the medium ultimate god realm who could control the power of law within 1,000,000 miles, let alone a lower ultimate god. Was Duan Lingtian still human? No. When the old man saw that Duan Lingtian had cut off the power of law around him and imprisoned him, he was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he was charging a rainbow swordlight at him. At the same time, he panicked and shouted to the other three, "Save me! Save me!" However, although the three of them had charged down together and their speed was not slow, there was still a certain distance between them. They were not as close as Duan Lingtian and their companion. Due to this reason, Duan Lingtian was the first to approach their companion. And this was something that they had never expected. He did not expect Duan Lingtian would actually dare to take the initiative to attack him at this moment. Whoosh! As a result, before they could get close to Duan Lingtian had already reached their companion, the old man named Yang Chun. His sword pierced through the air and pierced into Yang Chun's body. Immediately, thousands of rainbow sword lights erupted. At that moment, their facial expressions changed drastically. They did not even have time to admire the dazzling sword lights as they used all their strength to attack Duan Lingtian. Die! Kill him! At that moment, the three of them did not expect Duan Lingtian to have the guts to attack them instead of running away. After all, there were 4 of them. Moreover, the 4 of them were the best among the intermediate ultimate gods. What they did not expect was Duan Lingtian to kill one of their companions right under their noses. At that moment, Duan Lingtian's eyes were cold and filled with killing intent as he faced the 3 of them attacking him together. However, he did not attack the 3 of them in the next moment. Instead, he chose to teleport away. It was not that he could not defeat the 3 of them. If it was before the beginning of the Chaos region, he would definitely lose if he faced the 3 of them head-on. However, the current him was not afraid of the 3 of them if they were to fight. However, it was unrealistic for him to defeat the 3 of them in a short period of time. In his opinion, once he was in a stalemate with the 3 of them, there would be a commotion and more people would rush over. If that really happened, some powerful high-level ultimate gods would show up and it would be harder for him to escape than to ascend to the heavens. Not every time, there would be someone to save him. The last time, he was lucky enough to escape with his life because Ning Yishuan had intervened. With that lesson in mind, he would not easily put himself in danger again. Whoosh! Duan Lingtian teleported away and disappeared on the spot. He then teleported a second time and escaped far away. During the process, some of the restrictive formations set up by the intermediate ultimate gods outside the Grand Canyon were shattered by Jian Wushuang's Tao of control and spatial energy. The process was as easy as crushing dry weeds and breaking rotten wood. The formations set up by the opponents also existed in name only. His Tao of control could even break the power of law that illuminated 1,000,000 miles, let alone a formation set up by a few intermediate ultimate gods. Go after him! The 3 of them who had failed to attack together were shocked when they saw Duan Lingtian teleporting away. Originally, they thought that even if their companion died, the space disturbed by their companion would not calm down so quickly and Duan Lingtian would not be able to teleport away in a short period of time. They did not expect Duan Lingtian to teleport away the moment their companion died. Who could tell them what was going on? Of course, they did not have the time to delve into this. Their divine consciousness quickly locked onto the location of Duan Lingtian, who had teleported away a second time. Although the second teleportation had crossed a long distance, they could still lock onto Duan Lingtian's location. They immediately chased after him. We must catch up with him quickly. Otherwise, he will disappear in front of us soon. This is such a good opportunity. Don't let him escape. The three of them were desperately chasing after Duan Lingtian. They were now completely sure of Duan Lingtian's identity after seeing Duan Lingtian appear. Since they had confirmed his identity, they naturally had to stop him at all costs. Still want to chase after me? Duan Lingtian smirked after noticing the movements of the three people behind him. If I wasn't worried about more people surrounding me, I wouldn't be afraid of you. As Duan Lingtian continued to flee, a huge shadow rose above the canyon where he was originally resting and then let out a cry of unwillingness before crashing to the ground. However, his cry of unwillingness was different from that of an ordinary person dying. Instead, it directly called out a name. Duan Lingtian. In the dimensional battlefield, the people who were killed were usually strangers who did not know each other. After dying, they would naturally cry out in grief and would not call each other by name because they did not know each other at all. However, the medium ultimate god who was killed by Duan Lingtian just now recognized Duan Lingtian. In addition, when he was killed by Duan Lingtian, he was so desperate that he directly called out Duan Lingtian's name after his death. Duan Lingtian, who was originally calmly fleeing, heard the voice behind him and his originally calm expression instantly collapsed. His expression changed drastically. Damn it! He actually called out my name. This was also something that Duan Lingtian had never expected. His opponent actually called out his name. It had to be known that even in the past, some people knew his name. However, after he killed them, very few people called out his name. There had been before, but because there were only a few people, Duan Lingtian did not take it seriously. However, he did not expect that today, under such circumstances, his opponent would actually call out his name after being killed by him. As for the three people who were chasing after Duan Lingtian, their expressions changed drastically when they heard the heaven and earth vision call out Duan Lingtian's name after their comrade's death. This meant that many people would know that their comrade was killed by Duan Lingtian. Then, in the shortest time possible, a group of experts would gather here. Even there and Duan Lingtian's whereabouts could be tracked by some experts. We must catch up to him and kill him as soon as possible. It'll be too late if we're too late. We can't let him die in the hands of others. Even if he dies in the hands of others, we can still take credit for discovering him. However, this credit is not as great as killing him with our own hands. The three medium ultimate gods gritted their teeth and continued to chase after Duan Lingtian. At the same time, a large group of experts in the surrounding area raised their heads and looked at the place where the heaven and earth vision of the fallen medium ultimate god appeared. Duan Lingtian. When the sorrowful roar spread, their eyes instantly lit up. Then, one by one, figures flew in that direction. Chapter 43:15. Duan Lingtian has shown up? It must be. The heaven and earth phenomenon of a lesser ultimate god's death appeared over there. Moreover, when the lesser ultimate god died, he called out Duan Lingtian's name. It's very likely he was killed by Duan Lingtian. Let's go and have a look. I thought it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack. I didn't expect Duan Lingtian to show up nearby. God is helping me. There were intermediate ultimate gods and senior ultimate gods among them. Soon enough, they arrived at the Grand Canyon where Duan Lingtian had entered closed-door cultivation. Of course, now, the Grand Canyon no longer existed. Only a ruined valley remained. Vaguely, one could see traces of energy sweeping through the valley. There were even some places that were emitting hot smoke. Heat waves permeated the air. Obviously, a great battle had just taken place. Over there, a upper ultimate god looked around for a while. His eyes narrowed, and he quickly rushed in a direction. Almost in the next moment, a few other high-level ultimate gods seemed to have noticed something and chased after him. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. One figure after another moved at an incomparably fast speed like a ghost. Now, these people seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. Little junior brother. Now, Yang Yuqin was also in this group. He did not know if he should be glad that he was lucky or feel that his little junior brother was unlucky. He was glad that he was close to his little junior brother. At the critical moment, he might be able to lend a helping hand. On the other hand, He felt that his little junior brother was unlucky because there was a group of experts chasing after his little junior brother and confirmed that his little junior brother was nearby. There are so many of them, and many of them are outstanding upper ultimate gods. Even I don't have the confidence to save little junior brother when he's surrounded. If only elder senior sister was here. Now, Yang Yuqin suddenly felt that he missed his elder senior sister. If she was here, even if his little junior brother was in danger, she could still protect him. Duan Lingtian did not notice that there was a group of people chasing after him. However, it was not difficult to guess that there would be more people chasing after him. The 3 mid-level ultimate gods behind him were also chasing after him. Even though he chose to teleport away as soon as he could, they still managed to catch up with him. The 3 of them were outstanding medium ultimate gods with great strength. Coupled with their strong willpower, there was nothing he could do. If there's really no other way, this is the only way. Actually, it was not that Duan Lingtian was unable to escape, but he had to pay a price to do so. Although it would not cause him to be injured, it would still affect him to a certain extent. Although the death of a law avatar was not a big deal, it would still affect him. But it would not affect him in the end. In addition, it would take time to create a law avatar. If it was not necessary, Duan Lingtian would not easily give up one of his law clones. I'll leave it to Lingtian. In the past, Duan Lingtian had deliberately cultivated the law of earth for a period of time. After coming to the plains of gods and accumulating many opportunities, his law of earth had improved significantly. Of course, his current law of earth was far inferior to the law of earth that some lower-ranked divine emperors were proficient in. At this moment, Duan Lingtian knew he had no other choice. This was the only way he could temporarily escape the 3 people's sight and ensure his safety. That's it. In the end, Duan Lingtian left a law avatar behind as he teleported away. It was his law avatar of Earth. As Duan Lingtian had used a little control technique before teleporting away, the 3 people chasing after him did not notice the fluctuation of the law of Earth when Duan Lingtian teleported away. When they saw Duan Lingtian's law avatar of Earth not teleporting away when it was supposed to, although they were a little puzzled, they thought Duan Lingtian was exhausted. After all, in their eyes, Duan Lingtian was just an ultimate god who had just entered the ultimate god realm. Such an existence could not be compared to them in terms of endurance. We've caught up. Kill him. Activate the floating image pearl and record a floating image mirror image. The 3 people made their moves. One of them even took out a floating image pearl and began recording a floating image mirror image. He wanted to record the scene of the 3 of them killing Duan Lingtian. However, at this moment, Duan Lingtian suddenly burrowed into the ground and disappeared before their eyes. Seeing this, one of the 3 people sneered. You dare to play with the law of earth in front of me? You're digging your own grave. In the next moment, the person burrowed into the ground at an even faster speed. Before the other 2 people could dig a hole to follow him, the ground shook and a figure appeared. It was their companion. Before they could ask any questions, one of their companions cried out with an unsightly expression on his face. That's just Duan Lingtian's clone from the Law of Earth. His original body has escaped. As soon as he finished speaking, he stepped into the air and looked around. He spread his consciousness and soon discovered that he could not find Duan Lingtian at all. As for the other 2 people, their expressions changed completely when they heard his words. After following him into the air and probing with their spiritual awareness, their expressions turned extremely ugly. Duan Lingtian had escaped. He had escaped right under their noses. Chase in any direction. If we can't catch up, there's nothing we can do. The old man in the lead had an ugly expression. He had never expected this outcome. He also did not expect himself to be so careless that he could not even distinguish the other party's Law of Earth avatar. That's all we can do. The other 2 people's expressions were also very ugly. However, they also knew that this was the only thing they could do. As for splitting up to look for Duan Lingtian, that was impossible. If the 3 of them were not together, even if they were paired up with another person, they were not confident that they could deal with Duan Lingtian. In the past, they had only heard of Duan Lingtian's strength. However, they had witnessed with their own eyes how Duan Lingtian had killed their companion. They deeply understood how terrifying Duan Lingtian was. If the three of them had not teamed up, they would definitely not be a match for Duan Lingtian. The three of them chased in the same direction for a long time, but did not discover anything. In the end, they could only choose to give up. Damn it, he actually escaped. The old man in the lead had an ugly expression on his face. I can't accept this. The middle-aged man among the three people had a grim expression. Yang Chun died just like that. Then, we couldn't even catch up with him. The last old man who was skilled in the law of earth was clearly agitated at this moment. This was because Yang Chun, who had been killed, was his cousin, the biological son of his biological father's biological sister. He had watched Yang Chun grow up from a young age. However, he did not expect that Yang Chun would die in the upgraded version of the Chaos region after supporting each other all the way until today. I think that since we can't catch up to him, why don't we tell the others where he got lost? Let them split up and chase after him. We might be able to catch up to him and kill him. In the end, the old man who was skilled in the law of earth made a suggestion with a grim expression. His suggestion was quickly followed by the other two people. To them, although this matter seemed to be harming others without benefiting themselves, it could not be said that it was completely harming others without benefiting themselves. At the very least, if Duan Lingtian was killed because of this, they would feel better in their hearts. Duan Lingtian got lost here. Everyone, if you want to find him, let's split up. Everyone, there were originally 4 of us, but one of our companions died at the hands of Duan Lingtian. We followed him all the way here, but he used a law clone to pretend to be his true body and escaped. Everyone, that Duan Lingtian is slightly stronger than the rumors say. If you're too weak, it's best not to chase after him to avoid being killed by him. Since the 3 of them had lost Duan Lingtian, they returned to the place where they had lost Duan Lingtian. Whenever they saw people chasing after Duan Lingtian, they would tell them about how they had lost Duan Lingtian. Everyone, when Duan Lingtian's 3rd senior brother, Yang Yuqin, arrived with the crowd, the 3 of them were still talking about the same thing. When Yang Yuqin heard this, a cold light flashed in his eyes when he saw many people flying in the other 3 directions. He was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he sneered. Why should we believe you? Who knows, it might be you who imprisoned Duan Lingtian. You purposely lured us away. With your strength, even if you join forces, it won't be easy to kill Duan Lingtian. Who knows, you might have used some tricks to temporarily imprison him and wait for us to leave before you deal with him. The expressions of the 3 people changed when they heard Yang Yuqin's words. The rest of the people present immediately stared coldly at the 3 of them like tigers watching their prey. It was not impossible. Perhaps. You're worried that Duan Lingtian will break out of your imprisonment and be discovered by us if we continue to stay in this area? Everyone, I think we should look around the area and see if we can find any clues. If we really can't find anything, it won't be too late to split up and look for Duan Lingtian, Yang Yuqin suggested. His suggestion also received the approval of the group of people. As for the 3 middle-level ultimate gods who had lost Duan Lingtian, their expressions turned even uglier. They did not expect to be doubted by these people even though they had the intention to help them. For a moment, they looked at Yang Yuqin's back as he searched around the area. Their gazes were extremely unfriendly. Soon, more people arrived one after another. As for these people, after hearing the news and hearing what Yang Yuqin had said earlier, some of them left, while the remaining people stayed in the vicinity to search for him. Senior brother Lei, he's alone. He's leaving. The middle-aged man among the 3 quickly saw that the young man in white who had been looking for trouble earlier was preparing to leave. He was obviously alone. Moreover, they were only middle-level ultimate gods. This kid. I'll stay here and continue to tell the people who come here about Duan Lingtian's escape. The 2 of you, follow him and kill this kid in white. Since he wants to die, we'll fulfill his wish. Chapter 43:16. Yang Yuqin took a step forward and left. Behind him, the old mid-level ultimate god who was proficient in the law of earth and the middle-aged man followed suit. They did not try to hide their movements at all. Yang Yuqin, who was in front of them, suddenly sensed something and turned around to look at them. His expression changed abruptly. Then, he quickly ran away. Seeing Yang Yuqin's movements, The two men who caught up with him sneered, and their eyes revealed traces of cold, murderous intent. He's so slow. With his strength, any one of us can easily kill him. The middle-aged man sneered. Let's join forces and kill him as soon as possible. Then, we'll return to senior brother Lei and tell the others about Duanlingtian. The old man stared at the fleeing young man in white with a cruel smile on his face. Moments later, the two men moved and quickly caught up with the young man in white in front of them and blocked his path. Boy, you can't escape. With just this level of strength, you want to escape from under the eyes of us two senior brothers? Dream on. You dare to delay us with your strength? You're digging your own grave. At that moment, the two men who blocked Yang Yuqin were looking at him with a mocking expression. In their opinion, he would be a dead man in the next moment. Before they died, they all wanted to properly enjoy the expression of despair on their faces. They wanted to let him know that sometimes, being nosy would not end well. How dare you be nosy when you're weak? If there's an afterlife, remember not to be so stupid. The middle-aged man who blocked Yang Yuqin's path spoke again as his divine power raged. He was obviously ready to attack Yang Yuqin. Although the young man in white in front of them was a mid-level ultimate god and his cultivation was higher than Duanlingtian, who was only a lower-level ultimate god, however, the two men who were not confident in defeating Duanlingtian did not think that they could not defeat a mid-level ultimate god. He was just an ordinary mid-level ultimate god. Just by looking at his speed earlier, he could roughly guess the other party's strength. Boy, are you scared out of your wits? Seeing that the young man in white didn't seem to show any signs of despair, the old man was clearly dissatisfied. In his expectations, this young man should be frightened and in despair right now. But now, it was completely different from what he had expected. What a pity. Just when the two of them thought that the white-clothed young man before them was scared silly, the white-clothed young man sighed under their gazes. Yang Yuqin sighed, shook his head and said, "Only two people caught up? Fine. I'll send you on your way first. Then, I'll send your companion to accompany you on your way. Don't worry, I won't make you wait too long." As soon as he finished speaking, Yang Yuqin moved. In the next instant, the power of law illuminated 1,000,000 miles, and the heaven and earth phenomenon spread out. At this moment, the expressions of the two people surrounding Yang Yuqin changed greatly. At the same time, they realized that when Yang Yuqin had fled just now, he had concealed his strength. Otherwise, a medium-level ultimate god who had comprehended the power of law to the point of illuminating 1,000,000 miles would not be so slow. You actually hid your strength? Humph. So what if you're not weaker than any of us? There's two of us. Although they were shocked that the white-clothed young man had concealed his strength, the two of them were not afraid of him at all. In their opinion, the white-clothed young man's strength was at most on par with any one of them. If the two of them joined forces, the white-clothed young man would definitely die. However, when they actually fought, the two of them realized that they were wrong, very wrong. The white-clothed young man's cultivation and power of law were on par with them. The white-clothed young man had even comprehended the way of control of the four heavens and earth principles. Moreover, the white-clothed young man's way of control was so terrifying that it could directly cut off their power of law, making it difficult for them to use their full strength. No, impossible. The two medium-level ultimate gods were completely defeated by Yang Yuqin within 3 short moves, and were in imminent danger. Yang Yuqin, on the other hand, had an indifferent look on his face. The moment the two of them thought of escaping, he directly attacked and killed them. After killing the two of them, he did not stay at the same spot for long and went straight back in the direction he came from. There was only one person left out of the 3 of them. Even if that person was stronger, he could kill him in a short time. His current strength was considered good even among the top medium-level ultimate gods in the god-defying realm. He was not afraid of those medium-level ultimate gods who had mastered the power of law to illuminate millions of miles. This was because his way of control had recently improved by leaps and bounds due to an opportunity. Ah, no. The two silhouettes rose into the air, and after letting out unwilling cries, they crashed to the ground. A medium-level ultimate god has fallen. At the same time, many people near Lei Tongshan stopped and looked into the distance. Lei Tongshan was the leader of the four intermediate ultimate gods who discovered Duanling Tian's hiding place. He was just telling the passers-by about Duanling Tian's appearance when he suddenly heard a commotion in the distance. It seemed as though three rays of light from the law of heaven and earth illuminated 1,000,000 miles had appeared. Coupled with the words of the passers-by, he instinctively turned to look. This direction, at first, he did not think much of the loss of two medium-level ultimate gods. He thought it was not unusual for there to be a conflict with so many people around. However, when he subconsciously turned his head, his expression changed completely. This was because that was the direction his two juniors had gone. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. At that moment, Lei Tongshan's first thought was that it was impossible. The other party was only a medium-level ultimate god. Even if his two juniors were not strong enough to deal with him, they should not have been killed in such a short time. Unless the other party had a high-level ultimate god with him, or a top-level medium-level ultimate god. Lei Tongshan took a deep breath and looked at the soul pearls that belonged to his two juniors in the storage ring. With just a glance, he saw that the soul pearls of his two juniors had shattered. His slightly calm expression changed drastically as he was comforting himself in his heart. It's really them. Lei Tongshan's expression changed drastically as soon as the thought came to his mind. At the same time, he completely regained his senses and was no longer in the mood to tell passers-by that Duanling Tian had escaped from them. Run! Since the other party had the ability to kill his two juniors, they naturally had the ability to kill him as well. Although he was stronger than his two juniors, he knew that he could not kill the two of them together. Even if his two juniors joined forces, they would be able to defeat him as long as they were given enough time. On the other hand, he had no chance of winning against the two of them together. His power of law was on par with the two of them. The only advantage he had was the fledgling form of sword principle. In his opinion, the other party would most likely come for him after killing his two juniors. Whoosh! Lei Tongshan was very fast. In the blink of an eye, he had traversed a large area of mountains and rivers. His speed was astonishing. However, even though he was fast, Yang Yuqin, who was chasing after him, was even faster. In less than 30 breaths of time, Lei Tongshan was intercepted by Yang Yuqin. As for Lei Tongshan, when he saw Yang Yuqin, his face turned extremely ugly. Earlier, when he was being chased by the other party, he had already discovered the other party. At the same time, he knew that his previous guess was wrong. There were no high-level ultimate gods around the other party. It was because the other party was a top-notch intermediate ultimate god. It was naturally very easy for such a high-level ultimate god to kill his two juniors. The power of law can also illuminate 1,000,000 miles. However, he was able to kill the two of them in such a short period of time. Moreover, his speed is so fast. He most likely has something else that's far better than mine. It's the fledgling form of sword principle. At that moment, Lei Tongshan could vaguely guess where the other party's powerful abilities came from. He just did not know the details. You're pretty fast. After Yang Yuqin appeared, he glanced at Lei Tongshan indifferently. Your Excellency. At that moment, Lei Tongshan's expression was gloomy, and he began to speak humbly. I've already advised my two juniors not to cause trouble and not to provoke you. However, they refused to listen. There's nothing I can do about it. They provoked you and were killed by you. They only have themselves to blame. Your Excellency, you won't make things difficult for me since I didn't do anything to you, right? For the sake of survival, Lei Tongshan had completely put away his usual arrogance. He did not even mention that the person behind him had the backing of an ultimate powerhouse. This was because he felt that it was meaningless. If he were in the other party's shoes, he might have killed the other party immediately after hearing the other party's threats. If he killed the other party here, it would not do him any good no matter how powerful the other party's background was. Therefore, he chose to admit defeat. He did not continue to be stubborn. Now, even if the other party asked him to kneel and kowtow, he would do so as long as he could survive. After living for so many years, he naturally knew that dignity and whatnot were not important in front of his life. This was especially so when there was no third person present. If he lost face and dignity, he would only lose face and dignity in front of the other party. He could completely accept it. Tell me what happened when you met the Duan Lingtian. Yang Yuqin heard the other party's words but did not reply. Instead, he said this in an indifferent tone. When the other party saw that Yang Yuqin did not intend to attack and instead asked about the Duan Lingtian, he thought that Yang Yuqin wanted to further confirm the whereabouts of the Duan Lingtian. Therefore, his expression softened a lot. At the same time, he recounted his encounter with the Duan Lingtian in full detail. He did not hide anything. He also felt that there was no need to hide anything. If he wanted to hide something, he would have to lie. Moreover, once he lied, he would have to think of more words to cover up the lie. If the other party saw through his lie, he might be able to survive, but would lose his life because he lied to the other party. Little junior brother, you're really unlucky. Yang Yuqin shook his head and sighed softly after hearing Lei Tongshan's words. Little junior brother? When Lei Tongshan heard Yang Yuqin's words, his pupils shrank instantly and his expression changed drastically. Chapter 43:17. Lei Tongshan would never have dreamed that the person in front of him was Duan Lingtian's senior brother. If he was Duan Lingtian's senior brother, he would undoubtedly be one of the two from the Institute of Myriad Jurisprudence in the Xinjiang land, Hong Yifeng or Yang Yuqin. Looking at the person's attire and aura, it was not difficult for him to guess his identity. Yang Yuqin. That's not right. Lei Tongshan suddenly thought of a problem. Like most people, he had a better understanding of the Institute of Myriad Jurisprudence's inner branch because of Duan Lingtian's existence. However, he remembered that Yang Yuqin's strength should be similar to his according to the rumors. The power of law that he had comprehended seemed to be weaker than the power of law within 100,000 miles. The reason why he felt that Yang Yuqin's strength was not weaker than his was because he had heard that Yang Yuqin's Tao of control was very powerful. However, when he saw Yang Yuqin's strength in person today, he realized that the strength he had heard about was probably the strength that Yang Yuqin had revealed a long time ago. Yang Yuqin's strength was definitely one of the best among the medium-level ultimate gods. Even those mid-level ultimate gods who had mastered the heaven and earth vision that illuminated millions of miles were not necessarily stronger than Yang Yuqin unless they had mastered the four heavenly Tao to a certain extent or had some other powerful trump cards. Only then would they have the ability to wrestle with Yang Yuqin. As for himself, he was too far away from Yang Yuqin. It was even to the extent that as long as Yang Yuqin wanted to, perhaps he could kill him in a short few moves. So it's Master Yang Yuqin. Lei Tongshan secretly inhaled a breath of cold air and tried to calm his agitated emotions. At the same time, he tried to stop his slightly trembling body from trembling and slightly saluted the person in front of him. Master Yang Yuqin, although my junior brothers and I had planned to kill your junior brother, we didn't succeed after all. Lei Tongshan took a deep breath and said in a slightly nervous manner, Now, my junior brothers have been killed by you, Master Yang Yuqin. They deserve to die. I'm willing to take out my life savings to buy this lowly life of mine. What do you think? Lei Tongshan naturally knew that Yang Yuqin hadn't chased after him to chat, but to kill him. Therefore, at this time, he did not say much nonsense, nor did he say that he did not want to kill Duan Lingtian. There was no need to, and the other party would not believe him. In that case, he might as well be more open and see if he could buy his life with money. Nothing. When Yang Yuqin rejected him, his expression turned extremely ugly in an instant. At the same time, he immediately unleashed the power he had accumulated and prepared to flee. However, even though he was fast, Yang Yuqin was even faster. In the blink of an eye, the situation was completely under Yang Yuqin's control. Even though Lei Tongshan was stronger than his three junior brothers, he was nothing in front of Yang Yuqin. In less than 3 breaths, he was on the brink of death. Yang Yuqin, if you kill me, you'll regret it. I'm on the brink of death. Lei Tongshan wanted to reveal his identity so that Yang Yuqin would not dare to kill him. This was also his last straw of hope. However, before he could finish, he was interrupted by Yang Yuqin. Noisy. If I kill you here, who would know that I, Yang Yuqin, killed you? Even if there were ultimate experts patrolling nearby and saw Yang Yuqin kill Lei Tongshan, would they be so bored as to complain to the people behind Lei Tongshan? Unless they were friends. Moreover, He did not think that Lei Tongshan had a direct connection with an ultimate expert. If he was really close to an ultimate expert, would he not have the projection jade slip given by the ultimate expert? After killing 3 people, including Lei Tongshan, Yang Yuqin did not feel any joy. Instead, his expression became even more solemn. I hope little junior brother will be careful. Now, the people chasing after him are not just some intermediate ultimate gods, but a large number of upper ultimate gods. There are many outstanding upper ultimate gods among them. Yang Yuqin might be able to fight against an ordinary upper ultimate god. However, the best of the best among the high-level ultimate gods could kill Yang Yuqin as easily as swatting an ant. Duan Lingtian naturally did not know that the 3 intermediate ultimate gods who were chasing after him were all killed by his 3rd senior brother, Yang Yuqin. Right now, he was fleeing into the distance. Danger. Very dangerous. That was the only thought left in his mind. In the beginning, his whereabouts were only discovered by 4 intermediate ultimate gods. However, after he killed one of the intermediate ultimate gods, and that intermediate ultimate god said his name, a large number of people knew that he was nearby. Therefore, the only thing he needed to do now was to get as far away from this area as possible. At the same time, Duan Lingtian also hoped that the secret realm of 10 people that he had previously opened would open soon. Then, he could enter the secret realm to seek refuge. After being teleported out of the secret realm, there was a high probability that he would not appear in this area again. After being teleported out of the secret realm, he would be randomly teleported to any corner of the upgraded Chaos Territory. The upgraded Chaos Territory was not that big, but it was not small either. It's best not to fly. It's good to move forward stealthily like this. Duan Lingtian moved nimbly as he crossed the mountains. At the same time, he evaded many people who were patrolling in the air. A large number of people spread out their divine consciousness, but Duan Lingtian narrowly avoided them. There are more and more people. During this process, Duan Lingtian also noticed that more people were searching for him. As time passed, more and more people knew that he was in this area. Under such circumstances, his situation was getting more and more dangerous. After so many days of fleeing, coupled with the fact that he had not fully recovered from his exhaustion, Duan Lingtian felt mentally exhausted. If he had to fight again, perhaps the 4 intermediate ultimate gods from before would be enough to kill him. There's someone over there. Suddenly, a cry of surprise sounded out by Duan Lingtian's ears. Although he's not wearing violet clothes, but looking at him acting suspiciously, he might be Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian was indeed not wearing purple, but he did not disguise his appearance. If he did, it would be seen as a guilty conscience and even more eye-catching. Since he had just entered the ultimate god realm, any ultimate god realm existence would be able to recognize him with a sweep of their divine consciousness. Moreover, Duan Lingtian had recently discovered a problem. That was, the ultimate gods in the nearby area would directly sweep people with their divine consciousness and did not care if they would offend them. After all, it was impolite. However, during this period, not only were those people not annoyed by the other party's probing, they even did as the Romans did. These people looked at each other and got along with each other naturally as if everything was understood without words. I didn't expect these guys to not mind probing each other in order to find me. They even see it as a tacit agreement. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian felt even more threatened. The tallest tree in the forest would be destroyed by the wind. The bird that pokes its head out will be shot. This time, Duan Lingtian really understood the meaning of those words. It seems that I've been too high-profile, however, if I hadn't been high-profile, I wouldn't have the strength I have today. Although Duan Lingtian realized that he had been rather high-profile all this time, he did not regret it at all. Otherwise, his strength would not have improved so quickly. Although he was only a beginner ultimate god, he was confident that he could kill most intermediate ultimate gods. Jin Wushuang would not be afraid even if it was just one of those top mid-level ultimate gods who stood at the top of the pyramid of mid-level ultimate gods. Even if he could not defeat or kill his opponent would still want to defeat or kill him. Currently, he had not consolidated his cultivation base as a lower ultimate god. Now, there's still a long way to go before I can consolidate my cultivation base. I only hope that the next few secret areas will allow me to consolidate my cultivation base as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm afraid there won't be a place for me in the upgraded Chaos territory. Although Duan Lingtian knew that he would become a thorn in many people's side after knowing that the overall ranking list in the upgraded Chaos territory had been opened, it was not difficult for him to guess. However, he did not expect the reality to be even more exaggerated than he imagined. These people don't even need to accumulate battle merits and chaos points? Or do they think they have no hope of getting into the overall ranking list, so they're just taking pleasure in hunting me down? Recently, Duan Lingtian was a little speechless when he saw so many people hunting him down. Were these people so free? What good would it do them to hunt him down? He did not think that these people had friends or relatives who could get into the top 3 of the overall ranking list. There were only 3 people in the top 3 of the overall ranking list. Currently, Duan Lingtian did not know that in the upgraded Chaos territory, there were already many bounty missions for him. As long as one took out the recording of his death, they would be able to receive the huge rewards of the bounty missions. Moreover, these bounty missions stated that even if one received the rewards of other people's bounty missions, they would still be able to receive their rewards. In other words, as long as one killed Duan Lingtian, they would be able to receive the rewards of multiple bounty missions. Moreover, the number of bounty missions was still increasing. Kill Duan Lingtian. Record the recording of his death. At that time, you can use the floating image pearl to receive the bounty reward. Kill Duan Lingtian, and you will receive a jade slip with the projection of the ultimate powerhouse's true body. Outside the dimensional battlefield, the ultimate powerhouse will fight for you once. Kill Duan Lingtian and record the recording of the floating image pearl. As long as you confirm that the recording is not fake, you will be able to receive the bounty reward. Kill Duan Lingtian, and you will receive 3 embryos of ultimate divine artifacts. Kill Duan Lingtian, 1 bounty, after another appeared in the various military camps in the upgraded Chaos territory. Moreover, the people who issued the bounty were, without exception, members of the godly venerable level forces of the various planes of gods. There were also a few descendants of ultimate powerhouses who were wandering cultivators. Chapter 43:18. Even Duan Lingtian himself did not know how valuable he was now. Bounties appeared in various military camps in the upgraded Chaos realm. At first, the bounties were only offered in secret, but as time passed, they were gradually put on the table. More and more bounties were being offered. Oh my God! The bounties have increased again. Duan Lingtian is really a treasure now. He is indeed a treasure. Now, what's more tempting than killing him? No matter who it is, as long as they kill him and leave behind a scryer image mirror image, they will be able to receive a huge bounty. Not just one bounty, but all of the bounties. Now, there are even people saying that the loot obtained from killing Duan Lingtian is even more exaggerated than the loot obtained from killing a supreme powerhouse. It's a pity that I don't have the ability to kill him. Otherwise, I would definitely be like those people and search for his whereabouts everywhere. It's fine if you don't have the ability to kill him. Now, many people have spread the word that as long as they can provide them with the exact whereabouts of Duan Lingtian and successfully use the clues to kill Duan Lingtian, they will be rewarded with 1/10 of the bounty reward. 1/10? That's not a small amount. Who knows, the value of the reward might be even higher than the reward for the 3rd place on the same realm list. In terms of value, that should be the case. However, the reward for the same realm list is the God's Accumulation Spring. The God's Accumulation Spring is a priceless treasure. This is something that the bounty reward can't compare to. Discussions about the bounty on Duan Lingtian were everywhere in the various military camps because the bounty on Duan Lingtian was still increasing. It was as if everyone in the world wanted Duan Lingtian's life. Duan Lingtian, Ning Yishuan had been working hard for the medium ultimate god ranking list during this period of time, and usually stayed in the secret realm. He would only leave the secret realm occasionally and wait for the next secret realm to open before going to the nearby military camp to rest. This time, he came to the military camp and found out that there was a bounty for Duan Lingtian and that it was offered by many parties. Although he had already guessed that Duan Lingtian would become the target of public criticism after the overall list was released, He did not expect so many people and forces to offer a bounty for Duan Lingtian. In order to kill Duan Lingtian, each and every one of them generously offered a sky-high reward. Although Ning Yishuan was born in the Sanctioned Lands, giant ultimate god clan, and was valued by an ultimate expert ancestor, he was still shocked when he found out about the bounty for Duan Lingtian. There are so many people who have put a bounty on Duan Lingtian. There's no lack of ultimate gods among them. That's true. If they didn't have the approval of an ultimate expert, how would they dare to be so brazen? However, don't those ultimate experts who are committed to the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm care about these ultimate experts messing around? Or don't they think this is messing around? One ultimate expert after another supported the bounty behind them. This matter naturally caused the dissatisfaction of many ultimate experts. These ultimate experts either hoped that more geniuses would appear in the god-defying realm or thought highly of Duan Lingtian. They were all dissatisfied that other ultimate experts were targeting geniuses like Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian is definitely a genius. Targeting him like this, once he dies, it will definitely be a great loss for the god-defying realm. Isn't this not very good? The existence of the dimensional battlefield is to unearth geniuses. Geniuses like Duan Lingtian were unearthed in this way. As soon as the overall ranking was released, all the giant ultimate god forces issued bounties. Is this really fair to him? The Divine Corporeal Spring, the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, and even the overall ranking of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm were all obtained by that person and proposed by that person. Did that person tacitly agree to all of this? While the group of ultimate experts was puzzled and confused, in the same pavilion on the clouds that seemed to be floating in the endless void, a young man in white stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the endless void. No one knew what he was thinking. Sir, at some point, a middle-aged figure appeared behind the young man. Are you really not going to interfere? Interfere? Hearing the middle-aged man's question, the young man smiled faintly. Interfere with what? In the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, the bounty on Duan Lingtian is no longer a competition between geniuses. This has risen to a competition between the giant ultimate god forces and Duan Lingtian. The middle-aged man said in a deep voice, "It's impossible to say that without their approval. It's absolutely impossible. Sir, since you think highly of Duan Lingtian, there's no need to push him into a fire pit like this, right? His chances of survival are very, very low if he were to fight against the ultimate gods who are backed by the ultimate gods. As far as I know, not long ago in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, he was almost killed because his whereabouts were exposed. This time, the young man in white interrupted the middle-aged man before he could finish his words. What are you trying to say? The white-clad young man said indifferently, Do you think I should intervene and warn them to ask the forces behind them to remove the bounty on Duan Lingtian? Shouldn't you? The middle-aged man said, No matter what, Duan Lingtian is only a lower ultimate god. He hasn't even consolidated his cultivation base. Facing a group of intermediate ultimate gods and upper ultimate gods who are like wolves and tigers, it's harder for him to survive in the cracks than to reach the heavens. Don't tell me you think he'll be able to successfully break through under such circumstances? The middle-aged man asked. What do I think? The young man in white smiled. Why should I think? What does he have to do with me? I advocated for the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm and the opening of the overall ranking. Don't tell me it's all to target him? If he doesn't have the confidence to survive, can't he just find a military camp and teleport out of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm? As long as he leaves the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, who would target him? With his current gains, even if he leaves the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, it shouldn't be a problem for him to be in the top 3 of the same level ranking. It's just that there's no hope for him to be in the overall ranking. In such a situation where he can advance and retreat, if he overestimates himself and is killed for the reward of the overall ranking, don't tell me he's too greedy? If he really dies because of this, no matter how talented he is, no matter how great his achievements are in the future, can he survive when he goes to the outside world? If he can't survive, no matter how monstrous he is, how can he protect the god-defying realm? The young man in white's tone seemed a little indifferent as he spoke. I know you value that little guy, but your concern is a little too much. The young man in white said faintly, "You're also an old man who has fought all the way here. Can't you see through this? I know you cherish talents, but you have to remember that no matter how talented he is, if he's a reckless person, even if he can become a supreme expert in the God-defying realm, he won't live long out of the God-defying realm. The God-defying realm doesn't lack mediocre supreme experts, nor does it lack those reckless supreme experts who don't know when to advance or retreat. Go. In the future, don't come to me because of this. Just take it that I've acquiesced in their actions. It takes two hands to clap. If he doesn't want to die, just leave the upgraded version of the chaos territory." The young man in white's tone was obviously a little unhappy and impatient as he spoke. "Sir, I understand." The middle-aged man did not say anything after hearing the young man's words. At the same time, he realized that he had cherished talents too much. He had completely forgotten that Duan Lingtian could leave at any time. If he did not leave, it was either he was trying to be brave or he was confident. If it was the former, even if he died, it would not be a pity. Forget about him. Whether he lives or dies, it's up to him. The middle-aged man thought to himself. At this moment, Duan Lingtian still did not know that although he was only a lower ultimate god, and the kind who had just entered the ultimate god realm not long ago, he had attracted the attention of many supreme experts. He also did not know that there were supreme experts who had specially gone to great lengths for him. Currently, after Duan Lingtian had been running around cautiously for a period of time, he was still discovered and targeted by someone. 3 medium ultimate gods had their eyes on Duan Lingtian. However, they only followed Duan Lingtian from afar and did not make a move. Obviously, they were afraid of Duan Lingtian's strength. Not making a move. Are they waiting for something? It seems that there might be a higher ultimate god behind me. After realizing that the few tails behind him were still following him, Duan Lingtian could not help but feel a little puzzled. Among the 3, one of them was an expert in the law of wind. Moreover, his law of wind had reached the point where his law of wind could illuminate 1,000,000 miles. Even if he could teleport, he could not escape from the other party's surveillance. If the other party wanted to, they could catch up with him at any time. After crossing the big canyon in front, if they are still following me, I will think of a way to kill the other 2. The other 2 are not experts in the law of wind. If I kill them, they won't be able to escape. A cold light flashed in his eyes. After crossing the big canyon in front of him, he realized that the 3 people were still following him. He did not continue forward. Although he used teleportation, he did not teleport forward. Instead, he teleported to the back. Be careful. As for the 3 medium ultimate gods who were following Duan Lingtian, their expressions changed when Duan Lingtian teleported closer to them. The medium ultimate god who was an expert in the law of wind was the first to move aside, and at the same time, he warned his 2 companions loudly. Of his 2 companions, one of them was an expert in the law of earth. The yellow energy on his body vibrated and formed a defense. At the same time, he also retreated a little. As for the other person, his body was covered in a watery light. The sparkling energy was like a torrential downpour. It swept across with a loud bang as if it had formed a huge wave in an instant. The 2 of them chose to attack while retreating. Although they were the best of the best among the medium ultimate gods, they dared not underestimate the lower ultimate god in front of them. Chapter 43:19. Trying to escape? It's too late. Duan Lingtian sneered when he saw the 2 of them retreating. The negative emotions that he had been suppressing for days exploded at that moment. During this period of time, he felt like a rat on the street that everyone wanted to beat up. Although he did not think he had done anything wrong, a group of people wanted to make things difficult for him. Duan Lingtian did not dare to enter a military camp for fear of being ambushed. Otherwise, he would have known the reason why a group of people was targeting him. As soon as Duan Lingtian made his move, the 7 orifices exquisite sword shot out. The energy from the law of space, the Tao of control, and the Tao of sword shot out like a shadow. The 2 medium ultimate gods who did not want to fight Duan Lingtian head-on and chose to retreat were shocked when they saw their attacks were easily crushed by Duan Lingtian. He's so strong. At that moment, they realized that Duan Lingtian's strength was even more exaggerated than the rumors. This strength. He's comparable to a top-medium ultimate god who can kill a high-level ultimate god, right? Both of their expressions changed at the same time. In the next moment, both of them shouted in unison, "Fang He, attack!" Fang He was their other companion who specialized in the law of wind. It was because of him that they were able to follow Duan Lingtian closely. Otherwise, they would have been left behind by Duan Lingtian long ago. They were only medium ultimate gods who specialized in the law of water and the law of earth. At the same time, Fang He, the medium ultimate god who specialized in the law of wind, stood in the distance with his expression changing again and again. However, when he saw his two companions' attacks being crushed by Duan Lingtian in the blink of an eye, he also personally witnessed Duan Lingtian's terrifying strength. At that moment, his intuition told him that he could not go over. If he went over, he would most likely die. Duan Lingtian is here. At the critical moment, he watched as Duan Lingtian continued to attack his two companions after crushing their attacks. As he fled into the distance, he let out an earth-shattering roar. Duan Lingtian was here. This voice shook the heavens and the earth, and it spread to an extremely wide area. Fang He thought to himself as he fled, "This is the last thing I can do for you. I hope you won't blame me." He knew that with the strength that Duan Lingtian had just displayed, not to mention his two companions, even if he joined forces, they would still be no match for him. Even if he was proficient in the laws of wind, it would still be difficult for him to escape from Duan Lingtian. The laws of space were infinitely mysterious. Once he was imprisoned, it would be useless no matter how fast he was. Fang He, when they heard Fang He shout getting further and further away, the expressions of his two companions changed greatly. They could guess what Fang He was thinking. At that moment, they hurriedly dealt with Duan Lingtian's attack while cursing Fang He's entire family in their hearts. However, in the blink of an eye, they no longer had the mood to curse Fang He's entire family. This was because Duan Lingtian had given them too much pressure. In the blink of an eye, they felt as though their bones were about to fall apart. How can he be so strong? He's just a lower ultimate god who has just entered the ultimate god realm. How can he have such terrifying combat strength? Yes. At that moment, the two of them felt that Duan Lingtian's combat strength was terrifying. It made them tremble from the bottom of their hearts and souls. It was too terrifying. Before that day, they would never have imagined that a lower ultimate god's strength could reach such a level. No, a blood-curdling scream was heard. It was the mid-level ultimate god who was proficient in the laws of water. Duan Lingtian shattered his attack first before a rainbow swordlight followed like a shadow and directly penetrated his body. In the next moment, thousands of swordlights broke out of his body and killed the mid-level ultimate god who was still alive and kicking a moment ago. The rolling waves that filled the sky gradually dissipated and disappeared without a trace. The other mid-level ultimate god who was proficient in the laws of earth was currently strengthening his defense with an ugly look on his face. He was proficient in the laws of earth, and the laws of earth were widely recognized as the #1 defensive law. Although the defensive layer he formed was continuously being worn down by Duan Lingtian, he still held on to the hope that as long as someone arrived in time, Duan Lingtian might not have the chance to kill him. At that time, Duan Lingtian would not be able to protect himself. Those who came later would most likely not attack him because there was no need for them to do so. "Your skin is really thick," Duan Lingtian sneered. "Are you thinking that you can escape by defending yourself before a group of people swarm over? You're very smart. However, if I really want to kill you, I'm afraid your defense will be useless." As soon as he finished speaking, Duan Lingtian's eyes turned cold. In the next moment, his small world opened up and a tree branch quickly extended out and pierced towards the mid-level ultimate god in front of Duan Lingtian, who was defending himself with all his might. This tree branch looked ordinary, but the life aura surrounding it was extremely dense. After the tree branch came out, it met the mid-level ultimate god's defense and easily pierced through it before piercing its way through. Sacred Tree of Life. The mid-level ultimate god who was proficient in the laws of earth originally thought he could escape, but his expression changed when he saw his defense being broken in an instant. The sacred tree of life. It was the absolute nemesis of people like them who had yet to reach the perfected realm of the laws of earth. The sacred tree of life was a divine object that was born from the soil and was the favored child of heaven and earth. Before those who were proficient in the laws of earth mastered the perfected realm of the laws of earth, the sacred tree of life could easily ignore the laws of earth. Attacks formed by those who had yet to reach the perfected realm of the laws of earth were ineffective against them. Defenses formed by those who had yet to reach the perfected realm of the laws of earth could be ignored. At that moment, Duan Lingtian opened up his small world, and the sacred tree of life's branch extended out. It did not even need to expend much energy to break through his defense. To be precise, it opened a hole in his defense, a hole that he could not repair even if he wanted to. His laws of earth were still a distance away from the sacred tree of life's branch before it was blocked. It could be said that the sacred tree of life was the absolute nemesis of people like him who were proficient in the laws of earth. No, at that moment, the mid-level ultimate god who was proficient in the laws of earth had a look of despair in his eyes. He never dreamed that Duan Lingtian had the sacred tree of life as a backup. If he had known, he would not have taken the risk to follow Duan Lingtian. He and his two companions followed Duan Lingtian because they wanted to see if they could follow Duan Lingtian all the way to the vicinity of a military camp. Then, the three of them would enter the military camp and inform them. As long as they handed over the floating image pearl that recorded Duan Lingtian's figure and successfully killed Duan Lingtian, they would be given a portion of the bounty reward. Even if it was only a tenth of the bounty reward, it was something that they would never have dared to dream of in the past. Seeing Duan Lingtian's divine sword wrapped in rainbow light closely following the hole in the sacred tree of life's trunk to kill him, there was only despair in his eyes. If he had known that Duan Lingtian's small world had a divine object like the sacred tree of life that could restrain the laws of earth, he would not have taken the risk to follow Duan Lingtian even if he had 100 times the courage. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. At the same time as the thousands of rainbow sword rays rose into the sky, the second shadow rose into the sky and let out an unwilling cry. However, it was not shouting Duan Lingtian's name, but the sacred tree of life. As for his companion, the middle-level ultimate god who was skilled in the laws of water that was killed by Duan Lingtian, he did not call out Duan Lingtian's name. He only called out unwillingly. Consider yourself unlucky to have met me. Duan Lingtian glanced indifferently at the place where the person behind him died and then teleported away from the scene twice in a row. At that moment, although he had not discovered anything, it was not difficult to guess that there must be many people coming this way. If he did not run now, he might not be able to. As for the middle-level ultimate god who was skilled in the laws of wind, Duan Lingtian did not plan to chase after him. Not to mention that it was basically impossible to catch up to him. Even if he could, he would not chase after him unless he had a death wish. What he needed to do now was to go to a safe place. Then, he would sit and wait for the next secret realm to open. Once the next secret realm opened, it would mean that he was temporarily safe. Not long after Duan Lingtian left, a few figures came to the scene first. They were all high-level ultimate gods who came alone. The divine power on their bodies vibrated, and the power of law surged into the sky. The surrounding void was shaken into a medicinal liquid. These high-level ultimate gods were the most powerful among the high-level ultimate gods. They happened to be nearby and rushed over when they heard the commotion. Duan Lingtian just appeared here? Didn't someone shout like that? There was a big battle here. 2 mid-level ultimate gods died. Is this Duan Lingtian's doing? After one of them died, he shouted, "Sacred Tree of Life." What does that mean? Isn't that a divine object that only exists in the small worlds of supreme experts? Could it be Duan Lingtian has the Sacred Tree of Life? There are remnants of the water and earth law auras here. There's also the space law and sword principle auras here. It must be Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian has the Sacred Tree of Life? This is a shocking piece of news. This also means that those who have not perfected the law of earth could die at his hands, even if they are stronger than him. Among the high-level ultimate gods, The only one who was good at the law of earth was also being watched by the others. When he saw this, his expression turned unnatural. His law of earth was only one step away from perfecting it, however. This one step could very well cause him to be killed by Duan Lingtian in the process of dealing with Duan Lingtian. The high-level ultimate god snorted coldly and turned to leave. Although he did not look too good, he knew that he could not take the risk. Although he had not encountered the sacred tree of life before becoming a supreme expert, how could an ordinary person have a sacred tree of life? Chapter 43:20. Look at the traces left behind by the law of space. He's heading that way. Go after him. The remaining high-level ultimate gods headed in another direction after the high-level ultimate god who was proficient in the law of earth left. In fact, the high-level ultimate god who was proficient in the law of earth had also noticed the direction Duan Lingtian had headed in. Because of that, he deliberately chose the opposite direction. He did not want to encounter Duan Lingtian. Before he knew that Duan Lingtian had the sacred tree of life, he had dreamt of finding Duan Lingtian and killing him. Then, he would bring his scryer image to collect the reward. Although he was considered strong among the high-level ultimate gods, there were many who were stronger than him. He would never be in the top 10 of the list. Therefore, although he had been accumulating chaos points, he did not have the slightest confidence that he would be able to enter the top 10. He was just comforting himself. That was until the upgraded version of the Zone of Chaos General List was released. Various parties targeted Duan Lingtian and even issued bounties, giving him the hope of obtaining a large number of treasures. Although he was a high-level ultimate god, he was only an elder of a heavyweight faction. The treasures he could obtain were limited. In addition, he had been injured in the last Millennium Tribulation. He was eager to improve in a short period of time. Killing Duan Lingtian would undoubtedly give him the opportunity to obtain the treasures he needed and improve further. However, now that he knew that Duan Lingtian had the sacred tree of life, he shrank back. His life would be in danger if he pursued Duan Lingtian. It seems that I'm destined to lose my chance. The high-level supreme god sighed and left dejectedly. In a spacious canyon, a white figure was being besieged. 3 powerful mid-level ultimate gods were besieging a single mid-level ultimate god. The latter was able to handle it with ease at first, but as time passed, he began to show signs of defeat. Yang Yuqin, you're going to die today. A cold-faced young man glared at Yang Yuqin fiercely. He was obviously the leader of the 3. One of the other 2 was on par with him, while the other was slightly weaker. However, he was also one of the best among the medium ultimate gods. Nangong Luyun, you and I both came from the profound Handle land. We have no enmity between us, so why are you bringing people to kill me? The current Yang Yuqin was no longer as carefree as before. Instead, he appeared to be in a sorry state. In terms of one-on-one combat, the young man in front of him might not necessarily be stronger than him. Even though it would be difficult for him to defeat the young man, he would definitely be able to fight him to a draw. However, the other party had a helper who was not any weaker than him. There was also a middle-level ultimate god who was slightly weaker than them. With the 3 of them joining forces, he was no match for them. Qi, the stern-looking young man, Nangong Luyun, suddenly sneered, Yang Yuqin, are you really an idiot? Or are you pretending to be one? Don't you know that our Nangong family had an engagement with the Shui family in the past, but it was later cancelled? So what? What does that have to do with me? Yang Yuqin frowned, but an ominous premonition rose in his heart. Could it be related to that woman? If that was the case, then he was really wrong this time. He had no interest in that woman at all. It had always been that woman's wishful thinking. What does that have to do with you? Nangong Luyun sneered. Don't tell me that you don't know that the 2 parties of that engagement are me from the Nangong family and Shuang from the Shui family. Don't tell me that you don't know that the reason the Shui family canceled the engagement with our Nangong family was because of Shui Ying's own initiative and because of you. At the end of his words, Nangong Liuyun's eyes were filled with fierceness. To him, Yang Yuqin had a grudge against him for stealing his wife. After listening to Nangong Luyun's words, Yang Yuqin felt helpless. It seemed that he had guessed correctly. It really had something to do with that woman. Shuang, however, He really had no interest in that woman. No. In other words, he had no intention of starting a family. I really don't know. Yang Yuchen was a little helpless. Nangong Luyun, why don't, after we leave this time, I'll announce to the public that I, Yang Yuchen, will never have any romantic relationship with Shuang in my life. How about that? I can even guarantee that I won't speak to Shuang again if I see her in the future. No matter how shameless she is, I'll ignore her. At this moment, Yang Yuchen also felt the danger and the other party's determination to kill him. This was not a joke. Moreover, he could tell that the three of them had come prepared. It would be difficult for him to escape even if he wanted to. He even felt that if he really prepared to escape, he would probably die even faster. I never thought that I, Yang Yuchen, would be harmed to this extent by a woman one day. It seems that my original intention from the beginning of cultivation was right. I can't touch women. If I touch them, it'll be difficult for me to achieve great success in cultivation. Eldest senior sister is so strong. Isn't it because she didn't find a senior brother-in-law for us? Second senior brother and fourth junior sister are also. As for third junior brother, he's definitely an accident. Even Yang Yuchen did not expect that in this situation where he had a slim chance of survival, so many strange thoughts and ideas would appear in his mind. Yang Yuchen, no matter what you say, it's all nonsense. You must die today. Nangong Luyun clearly did not intend to let Yang Yuchen go. Or rather, he did not take Yang Yuchen's words seriously at all. He only felt that Yang Yuchen was stalling for time. Yang Yuchen, if it wasn't for the fact that I don't want Shuang to know that I killed you. Otherwise, I would have recorded what you said just now and shown it to her. I would have let her see what kind of man she likes. At this moment, Yang Yuchen's expression changed once again. Nangong Liuyun's determination to kill him had exceeded his expectations. His opponent had come with the determination to kill him. Boom. Under such circumstances, Yang Yuchen no longer held any hope. The power of the law stirred, and he displayed the path of control without holding back. However, his opponent was not weak either. Two rays of the power of the law that illuminated millions of miles spread out. They belonged to Nangong Luyun and the other helper who was not any weaker than him. As for the other helper, he had also comprehended the power of the law that illuminated millions of miles. He had even mastered the devouring Tao of the heaven and earth Tao. Of course, his mastery of the devouring Tao was naturally far inferior to Yang Yuchen's path of control. Among the three helpers, he was the weakest. If he fought him alone, Yang Yuchen was confident that he could kill him within 10 moves. Boom, boom, boom. The three of them besieged one person. Yang Yuchen was in a more difficult position. The commotion on the other side was getting louder and louder as the four of them fought with all their might. It even attracted the attention of some onlookers. There was no lack of higher ultimate gods among them. How powerful! All four of them are only medium-level ultimate gods? This is too terrifying. Although I'm a higher ultimate god, I feel like I'm no match for any of them. Who are they? As more and more onlookers gathered, many higher ultimate gods realized the problem. The four intermediate ultimate gods in front of them seemed to be stronger than them. Unknowingly, a figure flew over from afar. When he arrived near the onlookers, he was surprised. Four intermediate ultimate gods fighting? Look at them, they're not weak. However, when he saw the white figure among the four people fighting in the field, his pupils suddenly constricted. Third junior brother? Chapter 43-21. Hong Yifeng did not expect to meet his third junior brother, Yang Yuchen, here. The reason he came all the way here was entirely because he heard the news that the monster from the profound starland, Duanling Tian, had appeared in the vicinity, and he rushed over. His purpose for coming here was naturally different from the others. The others were here to track down the Duanling Tian and kill the Duanling Tian to obtain the reward. As for him, he was here to see if he could help the Duanling Tian in Hong Yifeng's opinion. Although he could not confirm the other party's identity in the Myriad Law Academy, since he was a member of the Myriad Law Academy, it was not a big deal to help him if it was within his capabilities. In the past, He was in charge of the Myriad Law Academy's internal palace and also served as the deputy palace master of the Myriad Law Academy. He was friends with the palace master of the Myriad Law Academy, Subaili. Naturally, he could not watch the Myriad Law Academy students suffer, even if the other party was not a member of the internal palace. Of course, there was a difference between being close and distant. Since the other party was not a member of the internal palace, it was unrealistic for him to risk his life. At most, he would lend a helping hand if it was within his capabilities. It was precisely because of this that he came to the vicinity and rushed over after discovering that there were people fighting here. He had only come to join in the fun, but he did not expect that one of the 4 people fighting in the field was his third junior brother, Yang Yuchen. Moreover, his third junior brother was showing signs of defeat. It wouldn't be long before he would be defeated or even killed. Third junior brother's strength. Hong Yifeng had never expected his third junior brother to have such strength now. If it were not for his fire law, he would have been overtaken by his third junior brother. Of course, he was now only amazed by his third junior brother's improvement in strength. In the blink of an eye, his eyes turned cold. Then, he stepped out of the crowd and charged into the battlefield. Another person has entered the field? Whose helper is this? Hong Yifeng's entrance immediately attracted the attention of the onlookers. Someone who dared to approach at this time must be a helper from one of the sides fighting. Otherwise, they would never dare to take the risk to approach. He's also a medium ultimate god. Judging from his unsightly expression, he is most likely the helper of that white-clothed young man. He's just a mid-level ultimate god. Do you really think he can turn the tables around? I think he's too rash. The white-clothed young man and his 2 opponents were definitely peak mid-level ultimate gods. Even if his strength is on par with the white-clothed youth, he still has another helper. His trip bodes ill rather than well. When Hong Yifeng entered the arena, he alarmed the surrounding spectators. Naturally, he also alarmed the 3 people who were suppressing Yang Yuchen with all their might, not giving Yang Yuchen a chance to catch his breath. Xiaoming, go stop him. If you can't beat him, try to hold him back. Nangong Luyun said coldly, Xiaoxiang, let's work together and kill Yang Yuchen. It was not difficult for him to see that the person who came was Yang Yuchen's helper. However, no matter how strong Yang Yuchen's helper was, how strong could he be? At most, he would be on par with him. All right. The one called Xiaoming by Nangong Luyun was the weakest of the 3. Although he was weak, he was still one of the best among the medium-level ultimate gods and had extraordinary strength. At this time, although Yang Yuchen also heard from the words of Nangong Luyun and the surrounding people that he had a helper, he was also stunned, but he did not have the time to see who it was. He was already on the brink of death. If he was distracted, he would definitely die. Who are you? Do you know the consequences of interfering in this matter? After the young man called Xiaoming withdrew from the battle, he went to intercept Hong Yifeng aggressively. Of course, at the same time, he was also very vigilant. If the other party dared to interfere at this time, he must be very confident in his own strength. He might be an expert at the same level as Yang Yuchen and his 2 companions, a top-level mid-level ultimate god. You're asking for death. Hong Yifeng sneered when he saw the weakest of the 3 who wanted to kill his third junior brother, Yang Yuchen, coming to stop him. In the next moment, golden light burst out from Hong Yifeng's body as the power of law spread out and illuminated thousands of miles. At the same time, another figure swept out from his body. This Hong Yifeng was wearing a fiery red robe with flames surging around his body. His eyes were slightly dim. However, after he appeared, another power of law caused the heaven and earth vision to appear. Another power of law vision that illuminated thousands of miles. The scene made the surrounding people's pupils shrink as they were shocked. He has mastered 2 types of laws to the point of illuminating thousands of miles. This mid-level ultimate god is too terrifying. Even among the upper-level ultimate gods, I'm afraid only the top ones can master 2 types of laws to the point of illuminating thousands of miles at the same time. Everyone was shocked. Xiaoming's expression changed drastically. He did not expect his opponent to be so powerful and terrifying. He probably hasn't mastered the 4 Tao of heaven and earth. As long as he hasn't mastered the four Tao of heaven and earth, I'll be able to hold him back for a while. Xiaoming instinctively thought it was impossible for his opponent to master the four Tao of heaven and earth. If his opponent had mastered the four Tao of heaven and earth, he would be stronger than the top intermediate ultimate gods, such as his two companions and Yang Yuchen. However, when his opponent approached him, the power of law from both sides whistled as a mysterious aura swept out. Xiaoming could clearly sense the abnormality in his opponent's power of law. This is the Tao of control. It was not difficult for Xiaoming, who had just fought with Yang Yuchen, to notice this was the shadow of the Tao of control of the four Tao of heaven and earth. Although his opponent's Tao of control was not as good as Yang Yuchen's, his strength was definitely above Yang Yuchen's when coupled with the power of law that he had mastered. I'm no match for him. I don't have the ability to hold him back. At this moment, Xiaoming realized the gap between him and his opponent. With his opponent's strength, he could easily kill Xiaoming in an instant. Retreat. Xiaoming hurriedly retreated as he called for help from his two companions. Lu Yun, Xiaoxiang, save me. Although Yang Yuchen found the voice familiar, he did not have the time to think about whose voice it was as he was on the brink of death. Now that Xiaoming had called for help, Nangong, Lu Yun, and the other person slowed down. Yang Yuchen finally had the time to see who it was. With just a glance, he was pleasantly surprised. Second senior brother? Second senior brother? As soon as Yang Yuchen said that, Nangong, Lu Yun, and the other person's expressions changed. They can't save you. At the same time, Hong Yifeng's indifferent voice slowly spread out. Then, Hong Yifeng's law clone turned into a ball of fire and quickly swept across the void. Then, before Nangong, Lu Yun, and the other person could move, he turned into a ball of fire and engulfed Xiaoming. In the eyes of the onlookers, Xiaoming looked like he was swallowed alive by a giant fire beast. No! After a miserable shriek, an illusory figure appeared and let out an unwilling roar. A divine artifact fell from the void. A medium ultimate god, one of the best among medium ultimate gods, died in the blink of an eye. This scene made the onlookers' scalps tingle. Even some of the stronger higher ultimate gods looked at Hong Yifeng's back with fear in their eyes. This person is even more terrifying than the other three. Oh my god. His strength has probably exceeded our definition of a peak medium ultimate god, right? Is there anyone stronger than him among the medium-level ultimate gods? While the onlookers were still in shock, Hong Yifeng's original body and his fire law clone joined the battle. Third junior brother. We'll catch up later. Now, let's kill these two brats. Hong Yifeng growled in a deep voice. The golden light on his body shone brightly as if he had turned into a golden man. At the same time, his fire law clone wielded a long saber and charged forward. All right. Yang Yuchen thought he was going to die. He did not expect his second senior brother, whom he had not seen for a long time, to appear at such a crucial moment and save him. Hong Yifeng. And at this very moment, Nangong Lu Yun, who had yet to recover from the shock of her companion's death, had her expression change in an instant. Others might not know much about the Myriad Arts Academy's internal branch, but he knew very well. He even knew that the grand senior sister of the internal branch of Myriad Arts Academy had a ruthless person in this generation. She was someone who had made a name for herself in the outer realm. Even many experts would give her a thumbs up when she was mentioned. He also knew that in the Myriad Arts Academy's internal branch, there was another person, Hong Yifeng, who was ranked second above Yang Yuchen. He was also the former vice palace master of Myriad Arts Academy. However, he was far less famous than Yang Yuchen. However, his strength was definitely not weak. In the history of the Myriad Arts Academy's internal branch, there seemed to be no weaklings. Now that Hong Yifeng had appeared and displayed his strength, he was both shocked and incredulous. How could a medium ultimate god be so powerful? Of course, he also knew that very few medium ultimate gods could master two types of law powers that could illuminate thousands of miles before stepping into the upper ultimate god realm because it was unrealistic and unnecessary. If Hong Yifeng did not have this fire law clone, his strength would at most be on par with him, his companion, and Yang Yuchen. But now, he no longer had an advantage. In fact, he was only left with a disadvantage. Xiaoxiang, let's retreat. Without any hesitation, Nangong Luyun faced the menacing Hong Yifeng as well as Yang Yuqin, who was injured but had also charged over. At the same time, her expression turned ugly, and she quickly called for her companions to retreat. His companions also made a move the moment he finished speaking. Trying to escape? Hong Yifeng revealed a disdainful expression as he faced Nangong Luyun and Nangong Luyun, who were preparing to retreat. Soon after, his Law of Fire avatar shook and once again turned into flames that filled the sky. With an even faster speed, he blocked Nangong Luyun and Nangong Luyun's path. Unless you've comprehended the Law of Wind or the Law of Space. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving under my nose today. Chapter 43:22. Hong Yifeng was very domineering and confident, and now he had the capital to be domineering and confident. He was good at metal elemental laws. Many years ago, he had comprehended metal elemental laws to the point of illuminating millions of miles. Later on, he had a fortuitous encounter and comprehended the fire elemental laws to the point of illuminating millions of miles. Any medium-level ultimate god who had mastered any kind of law to the point of illuminating millions of miles would be one of the best among medium-level ultimate gods, even if they had not mastered any of the four paths of heaven and earth. If one could master the four paths of heaven and earth, even if they had just mastered it, they could become a top existence among medium-level ultimate gods in one fell swoop. Nangong and Lu Yun, who had intercepted Yang Yuqin today, and Nangong and Lu Yun's helpers were such existences. You can't leave. After all, Yang Yuqin was only lightly injured. After taking a few healing divine pills, the aura on his body became stronger. He suddenly made his move, and together with his second senior brother Hong Yifeng, they blocked Nangong Luyun and Nangong Luyun. Of course, he was more like a bystander. Hong Yifeng's main body had a powerful aura, and his metal law avatar had merged with his main body, so that he would not be at a disadvantage in front of Nangong Luyun and Nangong Luyun, who both possessed the power of bloodline. In addition, the fire elemental law clone was also very powerful. When combined with his aura, it was even more terrifying than a pair of twins at the level of Nangong and Lu Yun's level. The twins were telepathic, so when they worked together, they were far more terrifying than ordinary two people working together. However, Hong Yifeng was obviously even more terrifying now. After all, the fire elemental law clone was also himself. It was like a person had created a clone that was not much weaker than the original body. This kind of clone and original body worked together seamlessly, making Nangong and Lu Yun feel aggrieved and helpless. They were now doing their best to escape, but they were blocked by Hong Yifeng. They couldn't find a chance at all. In addition, Yang Yuqin's interference from time to time made them so anxious that they almost went crazy. Nangong and Lu Yun's expressions were extremely ugly. They never expected that the originally good situation would fall to such a state in the blink of an eye. Just now, if they were given more than 10 breaths of time, they were absolutely confident that they could kill Yang Yuqin. However, at the crucial moment, Hong Yifeng appeared and displayed an extremely terrifying strength. As the proud son of a giant god-level family and a genius valued by the strongest, he naturally knew what Hong Yifeng's current strength meant. Looking at the various planes of gods, and even the entire reverse god world, it would be difficult to find a second person whose strength was comparable to Hong Yifeng's. Although Hong Yifeng had some fame in the past, he was only one of the best medium ultimate gods. Now, not only has he improved, but he has even surpassed us top medium ultimate gods. What opportunity did he get? Right now, Nangong Luyun was thinking of a way to escape while having a myriad of thoughts. Could it be that I really have to use the projection jade scroll that the ancestor gave me? Ancestor, if you show yourself and fight, you will be violating the rules of the planar battlefield and the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. Even my Chaos points will be cleared. Lu Yun and Lu Yun and Lu Yun were Lu's to be had. He could not accept the fact that his Chaos points were emptied. As for the punishment of his ancestor, it had nothing to do with him. Although he felt guilty, he would rather feel guilty than live and die. Why don't I wait for Ning Xiaoxiang to use the Lu Yun's Lu Yun, and Lu Yun's Lu Yun's Lu Yun? Thinking about this, a cunning look flashed across the depths of Nangong Liu Yun's eyes. However, he soon realized that he was overthinking. Nangong and Lu Yun. Ning Xiaoxiang's voice transmission echoed in Nangong Liu Yun's ears at the right time. This time, I made a move purely to help you. Although you'll give me something as a reward after the matter is settled, the reason why we're in such a dangerous situation is ultimately because of you. You're still not going to crush the Lu Yun's Lu Yun, and Lu Yun's Lu Yun. Are you waiting for me to crush the Lu Yun's Lu Yun, and Lu Yun's Lu Yun? If that's the case, you're dreaming. I think that if I surrender now, and am even willing to pay enough money to buy my life, they might not necessarily not let me go. But either you will die, or in the end, you can only crush the projection jade slip of your clan's ancestor. Right now, Ning Xiaoxiang was clearly a little flustered and exasperated. Although he and Nangong and Lu Yun were both prodigies of godly venerate-level clans in the Xinjiang land and had some ties with each other, they were not close. This time, he had cooperated with Nangong and Lu Yun to search for the Duan Lingtian and met Yang Yuqin. Nangong and Lu Yun had wanted to kill Yang Yuqin, but Lu Yun had only agreed to help after Lu Yun promised him a reward. Qiu Ming, on the other hand, was Nangong and Lu Yun's cousin. Therefore, he was willing to help Nangong and Lu Yun without Lu Yun's promise of a reward. Hearing Ning Xiaoxiang's words, Nangong and Lu Yun knew that he had no other choice. When Yang Yuqin unleashed another burst of power and charged over with Hong Yifeng, seeing that both he and Ning Xiaoxiang were in mortal danger, he finally took out a jade slip and crushed it. Pa! The jade slip shattered, and a terrifying energy gushed out. An incomparably gigantic face appeared in the air, looking incomparably cold and emotionless. When Yang Yuqin and Hong Yifeng's attacks came over, they were blocked by the huge face. However, after blocking the attack, the huge face became somewhat illusory and erratic. However, one could still see that it was the face of a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man had a dignified look and a cold expression. He glanced at Hong Yifeng and said, "You're not even a match for the Ning family's brat?" Evidently, this supreme expert knew Ning Xiaoxiang as well. "Greetings, Senior Nangong." At this moment, Ning Xiaoxiang respectfully bowed to the huge face that the middle-aged man had manifested. At the same time, even Hong Yifeng and Yang Yuqin temporarily stopped their attacks and did not attack again. No matter what, the other party was still a supreme expert. It was impossible for them to not give him face. Although they were not afraid of the other party here, what about in the future? In the future, they would definitely go to the outer world. If the other party really wanted to kill them, they would not be able to do anything. Therefore, they could not afford to offend the other party. Of course, this time, if the other party really wanted to save Nangong and Lu Yun's life, he would have to bleed a little. Otherwise, they would not allow Nangong and Lu Yun to leave just like that. Second senior brother, Yang Yuqin sent a voice transmission to Hong Yifeng. There was a hint of helplessness in his tone. "Say, when do you think first senior sister will become a supreme expert? If she becomes a supreme expert, we won't have to be so afraid even if the projection of Nangong's true body appears today." "I don't know." Hong Yifeng's tone was clearly a little helpless. "It's not that easy to become a supreme expert." As soon as he finished speaking, he also allowed the supreme expert of the Nangong clan to educate Nangong and Lu Yun. He began to persuade Yang Yuqin. "Third junior brother, I'm afraid it'll be very difficult to kill Nangong Lu Yun today. You have to be mentally prepared for this." His third junior brother seemed to be kind and refined, but he knew that he was also a vengeful person who would not compromise easily. "Second senior brother, I'm already past the age of being young and impetuous." Hearing Hong Yifeng's voice transmission, Yang Yuqin said somewhat helplessly, "Ever since you threw away your responsibilities and ran away, I took over the lineage of internal strength and became the vice palace master of Myriad Arts Academy. My edges and corners have been smoothed out a lot. If there's a chance in the future, I'll definitely kill Nangong Lu Yun. As for now, I'll just try my best to get some benefits from Nangong's body." This isn't the planar battlefield, but the Chaos Realm. Moreover, it's an upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. If he makes a move here, it'll be much more serious than in the plainer battlefield. Hearing Yang Yuqin's words, Hong Yifeng was relieved. He was really worried that his third junior brother would be stubborn and insist on killing Nangong Lu Yun. Is it the supreme expert of the Nangong clan in the land of Xingang? At this time, the group of onlookers also recovered from their shock. This was because it was the first time most of them had seen the scene of a supreme expert's projection jade slip being crushed. This scene shocked them. I've long heard that when a supreme expert's projection jade slip is crushed, a shocking defensive power will appear. Today, I see that it's true. The attacks of those two people were completely neutralized just now. However, this is the only passive defensive power. After that, if the person who crushed the jade slip wants to live, he can only rely on the supreme expert's projection to make a move. If the supreme expert doesn't make a move, then he'll still die. It's the supreme expert of the Nangong clan. Looks like the young man who crushed the jade slip is a member of the Nangong clan in the land of Xingang. The surrounding onlookers all looked over, and even more people looked curiously at the enormous face that was floating in midair and gave them a strong sense of oppression. Although it was only a projection of the supreme expert's projection, it still gave them a suffocating feeling. A supreme expert was the strongest existence in this world. This is a supreme expert? I never imagined that I would have the chance to see a supreme expert with my own eyes in my lifetime. Even if it's only a projection of the supreme expert, it's worth bragging about for the rest of my life. While many people in the surrounding onlookers were slightly excited, the supreme expert of the Nangong clan stopped reprimanding Nangong Lu Yun, and his gaze descended onto Yang Yuqin and Hong Yifeng. You're Huangfu Mingyuan's junior brothers? When the supreme expert of the Nangong clan looked at Yang Yuqin and Hong Yifeng, his gaze became much gentler, and even a faint smile hung on his face. Huangfu Mingyuan. She was Yang Yuqin and Hong Yifeng's eldest senior sister. At the same time, she was also Duan Lingtian's eldest senior sister. Senior knows my eldest senior sister? Hong Yifeng asked with a faint smile. The current him looked as if nothing had happened. On the other hand, Yang Yuqin frowned slightly. The other party suddenly mentioned their eldest senior sister's name. Could it be that they wanted to use their eldest senior sister to threaten them? In an instant, Yang Yuqin's expression started to turn cold. End of this chapter. Chapter 43-23. Huangfu Mingyuan was the current eldest senior sister of the 10,000 Laws Palace's inner palace. She was also the current spiritual leader of the 10,000 Laws Palace's inner palace. Regardless of whether it was Hong Yifeng, the second disciple, Yang Yuqin, the third disciple, or Lang Chunyuan, the fourth disciple, they were all personally accepted into the inner palace by Huangfu Mingyuan. They were all monstrous geniuses that she had unearthed. Among the current generation of the 10,000 Laws Palace's inner palace, only Duan Lingtian was not unearthed by Huangfu Mingyuan. It was also because of this that whether it was Hong Yifeng or Yang Yuqin, their relationship with the eldest senior sister was very good. Even on their path of growth, the eldest senior sister had helped them clean up their mess many times. You can say that I know her. The supreme expert of the Nangong clan laughed faintly. It's just that I've heard of her for a long time. Her reputation in the outer realm is even greater than many of our supreme experts. Many of us are looking forward to her becoming a supreme expert as soon as possible. In recent years, I've been using her as an example to teach the younger generation. However, the younger generation still doesn't like to work hard. As he spoke, the supreme expert of the Nangong clan's tone was clearly a little disappointed. Today, I'll use 5 embryos of the supreme divine artifacts as the price to exchange for their lives. How about it? The supreme expert of the Nangong clan quickly got to the point. 5 embryos of the supreme divine artifacts in exchange for the lives of Nangong clan's Lu Yun and Ning Xiaoxiang. 5 embryos of the supreme divine artifacts. When the onlookers heard the supreme expert of the Nangong clan's words, they all gasped. They did not expect this supreme expert to be so generous. He was actually willing to take out so many embryos of the supreme divine artifacts to exchange for the lives of the younger generation. Before Yang Yuqin could say anything, Hong Yifeng had already said with a smile, "Senior, you're too polite." Since Senior has stepped forward, then this matter will be dropped. As soon as Hong Yifeng finished speaking, he glanced at Yang Yuqin, who was standing next to him, and said through voice transmission, "Third junior brother, it's about time. He has given us quite a lot of things. Most importantly, this is what he wanted to give, not what we asked for. If we asked for it, he might have a bad impression of us. But now, he can't do that. If we were too greedy, perhaps he would agree to our request. However, if that were the case, the nature of the relationship would be completely different. When that time comes, I'm worried that this guy will target eldest senior sister in the outer realm." Hearing Hong Yifeng's words, Yang Yuqin said helplessly, "Third senior brother, you don't have to tell me this. Do you think I don't understand?" However, that old man is still quite scheming. He actually only gave us 5 embryos of the ultimate divine artifacts instead of 6. Otherwise, even if you gave me 4, I wouldn't feel this way. Is he trying to drive a wedge between us? Yang Yuqin's tone was cold as he spoke. That's possible. Hong Yifeng smiled. However, that might not be the case. Perhaps his true body projection only brought 5 embryos of the ultimate divine artifacts out. Even if he was an ultimate divine artifact, his true body projection could only bring a limited amount of power and items out with him when he went out with a jade slip. Let's leave this matter at that. After confirming with his third junior brother, Hong Yifeng looked at the projection of the true body of the Nangong family's utmost powerful being. That gigantic face said unhurriedly, "All right." The ultimate divine artifact from the Nangong clan gave Hong Yifeng 5 embryos of the ultimate divine artifacts. They seemed to appear out of thin air and flew in front of Hong Yifeng. At the same time, the Nangong clan's Lu Yun and Ning Xiaoxiang looked at each other and left together. They moved faster and faster and soon disappeared before everyone's eyes. After a while, the true body projection of the ultimate divine artifact from the Nangong clan gradually dissipated. However, at the same time, his voice was still reverberating in the ears of everyone present. The inner palace of the Wanfa Academy is indeed full of talents. Huangfu Mingyuan, the number 1 upper ultimate god in the god-defying realm. Hong Yifeng, the strength you showed today is also the number 1 middle ultimate god in the god-defying realm, and your little junior brother, Duan Lingtian, is definitely the number 1 lower ultimate god in the god-defying realm. Amazing! After a sigh, the voice of the ultimate divine artifact from the Nangong clan came to an abrupt end. The onlookers were so shocked that they could not recover for a long time. The inner palace of the Wanfa Academy? It was the first time they heard that there was an inner palace of the Wanfa Academy. However, after hearing what the ultimate divine artifact said, they had some understanding of the inner palace of the Wanfa Academy. Hong Yifeng and Yang Yuqin seemed to be from the inner palace of the Wanfa Academy. They also had a senior sister who was said by the ultimate divine artifact to be the number 1 upper ultimate god in the god-defying realm. Hong Yifeng's strength was amazing. In addition, they had seen Hong Yifeng fight. So when the ultimate divine artifact said that Hong Yifeng was the number 1 middle ultimate god in the god-defying realm, they felt that he deserved it. There's also Duan Lingtian. In next to no time, someone swiftly reacted to it. Duan Lingtian is actually a member of the Myriad Jurisprudence Palace's inner court as well. Duan Lingtian is recognized as the number 1 lower ultimate god in the god-defying realm. I didn't expect him to be from the inner palace of the Wanfa Academy, just like Hong Yifeng and Huangfu Mingyuan. What kind of place is the inner palace of the Wanfa Academy? There are so many evildoers appearing frequently. The 3 of them represent the peak of the 3 cultivation realms of the ultimate god realm in the god-defying realm. Hong Yifeng and Duan Lingtian are beyond doubt. Huangfu Mingyuan, since even the ultimate divine artifact said so, she is obviously really powerful. The onlookers were shocked. More people's eyes fell on Hong Yifeng with passion. Hong Yifeng also had many doubts in his heart. At the same time, he was also a little excited. Duan Lingtian was from the inner palace? Little junior brother? Seeing that his third junior brother did not seem surprised at all, he immediately realized that it was indeed true. Maybe he was a genius of the inner palace that his third junior brother had accepted. Third junior brother, let's leave here first. Although there were many doubts in his heart, Hong Yifeng also knew that now was not the time to ask. The most important thing now was to get rid of the group of people present and find a place that others could not easily find, so that he could ask his third junior brother about little junior brother. Although there was no reward for them in this upgraded version of the Chaos region, now that his strength was exposed, there would definitely be people who would feel that he was a threat in the overall ranking battle. Under such circumstances, he was also in great danger. Well, let's leave first. Yang Yuqin naturally thought of this, so after hearing his second senior brother Hong Yifeng's voice transmission, he immediately hit it off and the two of them quickly left. When the two of them left, some high-level ultimate gods stared at their backs. Their eyes flickered a few times, but in the end, they did not chase after them. They did not have full confidence in dealing with this pair of brothers. A top mid-level ultimate god strength was not weaker than many high-level ultimate gods. There was also a top existence among the top middle-level divine masters who was recognized as the #1 middle-level divine master in the god-defying realm by the supreme experts. It could be seen that his strength was strong. Perhaps his strength was not weaker than some of the best among the high-level divine masters. Hong Yifeng and Yang Yuqin flew all the way until they were at full speed. After confirming that no one was following them, they finally landed on the peak of a medium-height mountain among a large number of peaks of different heights within a mountain range and came to a halt. After landing, Hong Yifeng looked at Yang Yuqin with deep curiosity in his eyes. Third junior brother, that Duan Tian, is the little junior brother that you recently accepted? Yes. Yang Yuqin nodded. About 100 years ago, I accepted him into the internal palace as our little junior brother. Since then, our little junior sister has become fourth junior sister. Yang Yuqin smiled. Haha. After Hong Yifeng got confirmation, he laughed. Good. Good job. Third junior brother, you're better than second senior brother. During those years when second senior brother was in charge of the internal palace, he wanted to recruit 1 or 2 more junior brothers and sisters for the internal palace, but he couldn't find a good candidate. I didn't expect you to accept such a peerless genius. But how could you accept such a peerless genius as your disciple? Are those godly venerable level forces so slow to realize this? Hong Yifeng was obviously a little confused as he spoke. In his opinion, such a genius should be the target of the giants and ultimate god forces, but in the end, he entered the internal palace of the Myriad Jurisprudence Palace? Second senior brother. Yang Yuqin shook his head and said, when little junior brother entered the internal palace, he wasn't even an emperor god. Hong Yifeng was stunned by his words. It took him a while to recover. Didn't you say he only entered the internal palace about 100 years ago? You mean, this time? Before Hong Yifeng could finish his sentence, Yang Yuqin nodded and said, he became an emperor god and an ultimate god after entering the internal palace. He's stronger than all of us. Even first senior sister's cultivation speed back then was far inferior to his. Yang Yuqin sighed and told Hong Yifeng about Duan Lingtian's growth in the Myriad Jurisprudence Palace in detail, so that Hong Yifeng could better understand his genius little junior brother. Little junior brother is really a genius. Hong Yifeng was pleasantly surprised, but also a little worried. Third junior brother. According to your description of little junior brother, he shouldn't be someone who doesn't know when to stop. If he felt there was danger, he would have left the upgraded chaos territory in advance, right? Hearing this, Yang Yuqin didn't know how to answer. After all, the rewards for the top 3 in the upgraded chaos territory were too generous. He knew how persistent his little junior brother was in his pursuit of power. Even if there was a slim chance of survival, his little junior brother wouldn't give up so easily, right? Chapter 43-24. What's wrong? Seeing that Yang Yuqin wanted to say something, Hong Yifeng's expression suddenly changed. Could it be that little junior brother will insist on staying in the upgraded version of the Chaos region? Second senior brother. Yang Yuqin sighed and said, our little junior brother was able to come to this stage not only because of his talent, but also because of his yearning for the strong. His persistence in becoming stronger is probably greater than most people. I don't dare to say anything else. At least, in the current generation of the god-defying realm, no one in the younger generation with some talent can compare to him in this aspect. When Hong Yifeng heard this, he fell silent for a moment. He was not even 1,000 years old, and he had already come to this step, at least. In the history of the god-defying realm that he knew, he had never heard of anyone who could do this to his little junior brother that he had never met before. I hope he's safe and sound. Also, you and I can go together and see if we can meet him. If we can meet him and go with him, it can also ensure his safety, Hong Yifeng said in a deep voice. Although he had never seen that little junior brother before, since he was his little junior brother and a member of the inner palace of the Myriad Law School, it was enough for him to risk everything to protect him. Although the inner palace of the Myriad Law School had few people, they were united. With second senior brother and me together, as long as we are not targeted in this upgraded version of the Chaos region, we will definitely not be in danger. I hope that we can help little junior brother in the coming days. The current Yang Yuqin was actually wholeheartedly focused on his little junior brother. The ranking of the same realm and the top 3 of the overall ranking were all thrown to the back of his mind. Although the treasure was good, in his heart, it was far less important than his little junior brother's life. Moreover, that little junior brother was accepted into the inner palace by him. To him, the feelings were slightly different. As for Hong Yifeng, although he had never seen that little junior brother, his sense of belonging to the inner palace was something that even Yang Yuqin and Lang Chunwan couldn't compare to. In fact, even their eldest senior sister, Huang Fu Mingyuan, might not have a sense of belonging to the inner palace compared to Hong Yifeng. Hong Yifeng could be said to be the most responsible line master of the current generation of the inner palace. Back then, if he hadn't obeyed eldest senior sister's order to pass the position of branch master to third junior brother Yang Yuqin, he wouldn't have given it up. He knew that third junior brother Yang Yuqin was used to freedom, and making him the branch master was torture. However, he had no choice but to obey his eldest senior sister's orders. Moreover, he had been in charge of the inner palace for many years and was at the beck and call of the Myriad Arts Academy. At that time, he had indeed slacked off a lot in his cultivation. He was also aware of this, so he didn't go against his eldest senior sister and went with the flow to hand over the inner palace to his third junior brother, Yang Yuqin. After that, he went to various places in the realms of gods to cultivate. When the planar battlefield opened, he entered the planar battlefield and never left. Yes, we have to find little junior brother before them. Even if we can't find little junior brother first, we hope that those who find little junior brother first can't do anything to him. Hong Yifeng's expression was also very solemn. After learning that Duan Lingtian was his little junior brother, he knew what he had to do next was to find his little junior brother and protect him. As for the ranking list, he had also put it aside. Third junior brother, you've entered the planar battlefield, and so has little junior brother. Don't tell me you've handed over the inner palace to fourth junior sister? Hong Yifeng suddenly thought of this problem, and his expression changed slightly. His fourth junior sister, was she reliable?
Yes.
Yang Yuqin nodded. At the same time, he seemed to have guessed Hong Yifeng's thoughts. Second senior brother, fourth junior sister has already entered the ultimate god stage. Moreover, with little junior brother joining us, she now has the responsibility of a senior sister. You can rest assured that she'll be fine if we hand over the inner palace to her now. Although Yang Yuqin said that, deep down, he wasn't certain. The only thing he was certain of was that his fourth junior sister would not allow the independent realm where the inner palace was located to collapse and disappear because there was no one guarding it. After all, it was not only the inner palace's root, but it was also his fourth junior sister's only home. At that moment, Duan Lingtian naturally did not know that his two senior brothers in the Myriad Jurisprudence Palace's inner palace had given up the competition for the same realm list for him. Like those who wanted to kill him, they began to search everywhere for him. It's finally opened. As for Duan Lingtian, after a period of hiding, he finally managed to enter the 10-man secret realm that he had been waiting for a long time. At that moment, he could finally breathe a sigh of relief. He could finally get rid of the group of people who had been searching for him. After he left the secret realm this time, as long as he wasn't too unlucky, he would definitely not appear in that area again and become the target of those people's search. At the same time, news of Hong Yifeng's appearance and his strength that was stronger than a peak intermediate ultimate god and even comparable to some of the best high-level ultimate gods had spread throughout the upgraded Chaos territory. Do you know who Hong Yifeng is? He's Duan Lingtian's senior brother, second senior brother. I heard that Duan Lingtian's third senior brother was almost killed this time, and at the critical moment, it was precisely his second senior brother, Hong Yifeng, who appeared and saved his third senior brother in time. Moreover, the opponent even summoned the true body projection of a supreme powerhouse, and only then was he lucky to escape death. This time, it's Nangong Luyuan from the Nangong clan in the Xingang land and Ning Xiaoxiang from the Ning clan in the Xingang land. They're all famous heaven's prides in various divine planes. At least before this, they were far more famous than Hong Yifeng and Yang Yuchen. The supreme expert from the Nangong clan said that in the myriad jurisprudence palace's inner palace, Duan Lingtian's first senior sister, Huangfu Mingyuan, is the number one high-level ultimate god in the god-defying realm. Second senior brother, Hong Yifeng, is the no. One intermediate ultimate god in the god-defying realm. Duan Lingtian himself is the number one low-level ultimate god in the god-defying realm. I know about the myriad jurisprudence palace, but what's going on with the inner palace? Myriad jurisprudence palace. Are they trying to defy the heavens? It's just a heavyweight ultimate god-level force, but there are actually 3 such monsters? The various military camps were filled with similar words. Most of the people's topics revolved around the myriad jurisprudence palace's inner palace, Duan Lingtian, and Duan Lingtian's senior brothers and senior sisters. Of course, they were all talking about Duan Lingtian's first senior sister, second senior brother, and third senior brother. As for fourth senior sister, no one mentioned it. At this moment, Duan Lingtian's fourth senior sister, Lang Chunwan's law avatar, happened to be in a military camp. When she heard so many people mention her first senior sister, second senior brother, third senior brother, and little junior brother, she wanted to remind them that her little junior brother, Duan Lingtian, had a fourth senior sister. However, she suppressed this crazy idea in the end. This was because she knew that it was fine if her identity was not exposed. Once it was exposed, she would definitely become the target of a group of people. At that time, her law avatar would be useless. If her law avatar was useless, it would also mean that she would have no chance to compete for the lower ultimate god list. Humph. Just wait and see. This time, I will at least kill my way into the top 3 of the lower ultimate god list, and let you know that the myriad jurisprudence palace's inner palace still has me, Lang Chun. Lang Chunwan snorted coldly in her heart and secretly made up her mind. At the same time, she also left the military camp immediately and continued to search for chaos points. Lang Chunwan had always been a loner. It was not until she entered the myriad jurisprudence palace's inner palace that she felt like home. She naturally would not be jealous of her senior brothers, senior sisters, and little junior brother. However, because of those people's focus, she felt that there was a gap between herself and her senior sisters, senior brothers, and little junior brothers. It was as if, at that moment, she felt that she could not catch up with their pace. It's fine if I'm not as good as eldest senior sister, second senior brother, and third senior brother. I can't let little junior brother surpass me by too much. I want to become stronger. I want to become stronger. At that moment, even Lang Chunwan's original body in the myriad jurisprudence palace in the Xingang land began to become restless. In another military camp, as the patriarch of the Yun clan, a giant ultimate god family in the divine offering land, Yun Tingfeng was a supreme existence in the Yun clan and was supported by everyone. However, when he arrived at the dimensional battlefield, especially in the upgraded version of the Chaos territory, his sense of existence was much weaker. Although he was a top existence among the upper ultimate gods, there were many top upper ultimate gods like him in the upgraded version of the Chaos territory. Unless he intentionally revealed his identity, others basically treated him as invisible and thought he was just a upper ultimate god. In the upgraded version of the Chaos territory, upper ultimate gods could be seen everywhere and were not rare. Today, Yun Tingfeng came out of a secret realm with many people and came to the nearby military camp. Soon, he heard about the Duan Lingtian's second senior brother, Hong Yifeng, a medium ultimate god whose strength is comparable to some of the best upper ultimate gods. And Huangfu Mingyuan is actually Duan Lingtian's eldest senior sister. If it was said that Yun Tingfeng had never heard of Hong Yifeng, then the name Huangfu Mingyuan was like thunder to his ears. She was a female expert who had risen very quickly. Although she was young, she had already made a name for herself in the Outer Realm. Even the supreme expert behind the Yun clan had said that this woman was one of the few people who had the most hope of becoming a supreme expert in the god-defying realm. Moreover, with her foundation, once she became a supreme expert, she would definitely not be a bottom-tier supreme expert. At that time, her strength might not be much weaker than his. 10,000 Law Academy's Inner Palace Branch. So he's a member of the 10,000 Law Academy's Inner Palace Branch, and not an ordinary 10,000 Law Academy student. No wonder Su Bailey was unwilling to expel Duan Lingtian from the 10,000 Law Academy when he went to the 10,000 Law Academy. It was because he didn't dare and didn't have the authority. The 10,000 Law Academy's Inner Palace Branch is in the 10,000 Law Academy, but it's also independent of the 10,000 Law Academy. As the patriarch of the Yun clan, Yun Tingfeng had heard of the 10,000 Law Academy's Inner Palace Branch. He also knew that the monstrous female expert named Huangfu Mingyuan was from that branch. Damn it, that Duan Lingtian is actually Huangfu Mingyuan's junior brother? Chapter 43-25. In truth, Yun Tingfeng did not know much about the 10,000 Laws Palace's inner progeny. All he knew was that the progeny had many geniuses, but he had never heard of any supreme powerhouses. However, there was one person in this generation who had a chance of becoming a supreme powerhouse. It was none other than Huangfu Mingyuan. For this reason, Yun Tingfeng knew about Huangfu Mingyuan and the existence of the inner progeny in the 10,000 Laws Palace. Now that he found out Duan Lingtian was actually Huangfu Mingyuan's junior brother, he could not help but feel slightly annoyed. Huangfu Mingyuan was not someone to be trifled with. I hope Duan Lingtian dies in the upgraded chaos territory, Yun Tingfeng thought to himself. Otherwise, it'll take a lot of effort to trap and kill him. We'll have to seal the news and prevent it from leaking out. Otherwise, Huangfu Mingyuan won't let the matter rest if she finds out it's the Yun clan who killed him. Perhaps, with the old ancestor around, she won't be able to do anything to the Yun clan. However, if she wants Yin to take the blame and pay with his life, the old ancestor will most likely agree to it. This was something Yun Tingfeng could not accept. Yun Qing Yin was his son. He would not allow him to lose a single hair on his son's head. This was also the main reason why he was determined to kill Duan Lingtian even at this moment. Duan Lingtian must die. If Duan Lingtian did not die, he would definitely be at odds with his son. Even if the Yun clan was not affected, his son might not be able to survive. If he wanted to protect his son, he had to kill Duan Lingtian. Put aside the fact that Duan Lingtian was merely the junior brother of Huangfu Mingyuan who had yet to become a supreme powerhouse. Even if Duan Lingtian belonged to a supreme powerhouse, as long as there was a chance to kill Duan Lingtian, he would not miss it. In his opinion, his son's life was more important than anything else. In the secret realm of Tin, Duan Lingtian was accompanied by 4 people from the divine, offering land, and 5 people from other realms of gods. The two sides were still confronting each other. However, when Duan Lingtian appeared, some people guessed his identity and witnessed his strength. The remaining 9 people helplessly expressed that they would not interfere with any of the checkpoints in the secret territory. It really is Duan Lingtian. With Duan Lingtian here, let's just stand aside and watch. I didn't expect to be so unlucky as to encounter the Duan Lingtian. Forget it. I'll just wait for those battle credits. They'll be the ticket to see the true face of this Duan Lingtian. I heard that in the upgraded Chaos Realm, there are bounties for Duan Lingtian everywhere. Under such circumstances, he's still alive and well, and even managed to enter the secret realm to earn Chaos points. He's really something. Geniuses, especially geniuses like him, aren't stupid. Based on Duan Lingtian's current achievements, if he's given a few thousand years, there's a high chance he'll become one of the strongest senior ultimate gods. If he's given 10,000 years, he might even become a supreme powerhouse. I really hope he'll grow up smoothly and become a paramount god. At that time, I can proudly tell others that I've met Duan Lingtian in the Chaos Realm when he was still weak. Met him before? Why don't you just say that he took away the opportunity to earn Chaos points? The 9 people watched Duan Ling Tian make a move as they whispered to each other, and the tone of most of them seemed to be free and easy. It was clear they were open-minded about it. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Duan Ling Tian successfully cleared all the checkpoints in the secret realm and obtained all the rewards. Apart from that, he also obtained all the chaos points. So many people have put a bounty on my head and are hunting me down. If I don't get first place on the overall ranking list this time, I'm afraid I'll be letting them down. Although Duan Ling Tian knew he would soon be in danger after leaving the secret realm this time, he was not afraid at all. Instead, he was focused on getting first place on the overall ranking list in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. First place on the overall ranking list. The rewards are so generous that it's definitely enough for me to step into the realm of a mid-level ultimate god and even strengthen my cultivation base. On top of that, I'll also get an ultimate god's divinity. The first place on the overall ranking list would allow him to bathe in the divine corrupting spring and absorb as much divine corrupting spring as he wanted. On top of that, he would also get an ultimate god's divinity. Due to the generous rewards, he had become a thorn in the side of many people. So what if I become the enemy of the whole world? I, Duan Ling Tian, am not afraid. After leaving the secret realm, Duan Ling Tian opened the secret realm again. At the same time, he found a place nearby to go into seclusion and wait for the secret realm to open. Now, the efficiency of him going out to hunt for chaos points was not high. He still had to rely on the secret realm of the 10 people. This time, while waiting for the next secret realm to open, he was not discovered like last time. However, when he came out of the secret realm of the 10 people, he was targeted again. Then, after killing a few mid-level ultimate gods, he continued to escape. He continued to wait for the next secret realm of the 10 people to open. Once, he was intercepted by 2 high-level ultimate gods and was in danger. Although he could escape, he had to pay a high price. However, at the crucial moment, the entrance to the secret realm of the 10 people opened and saved his life. That time was also the most dangerous crisis he had experienced in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. After that, he was more scared than hurt. Time flew. The opening of the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was also coming to an end. Recently, in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, a group of people had been working hard to get the reward for Duan Ling Tian, but to no avail. There were also some people who were working hard to get into the top 3 of the Chaos Realm ranking list. Duan Ling Tian's second senior brother Hong Yifeng and third senior brother Yang Yuchen in the last period of time, in order to find Duan Ling Tian and protect Duan Ling Tian. Although they had accumulated a lot of battle merits, they did not open any secret realms. They just collected chaos points by chance outside. Duan Ling Tian's fourth senior sister Lang Chunwan, on the other hand, opened secret realms time and time again and gained a lot. As for Duan Ling Tian's master, Feng Qingyang, with the cultivation of a high-level ultimate god, he swept through and obtained secret realms of the 10 people one after another, causing his chaos points to reach a shocking level. Duan Ling Tian, after all, is one step ahead of me. In the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, a figure appeared and sighed. It was a young man. He wore a long green robe and had a cold expression. At this moment, as he muttered to himself, there was a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. His face was filled with emotions. However, after returning this time, although I didn't completely accept everything that the ancestor left behind, I've already become a high-level ultimate god. Although I entered the Chaos Realm later and didn't have much battle merits before, I'm sure it won't be a problem for me to get into the top 3 of the ultimate god ranking list. There's probably no hope for the top spot. It should be that monster like Duan Ling Tian. The young man in the green robe was none other than Ling Jueyun, who had entered from the world of divine offering. After Ling Jueyun had returned to the Ling clan's old site, he had obtained everything that the Ling clan's strongest ancestor had left behind. After successfully becoming an upper divine emperor, he had also entered the dimensional battlefield. However, when he entered the dimensional battlefield, the Chaos Realm had already opened. In fact, it wouldn't be long before the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm opened. Under such circumstances, he was naturally at a disadvantage. He should be fine, right? When he thought about his old friend, Duan Ling Tian, being targeted by so many forces and people, Even though Ling Jueyin was no longer the same as before, he could not help but feel his scalp go numb. He asked himself, if he was the one being targeted like this, he would also have a slim chance of survival. He's stronger than me, so he should be fine, Ling Jueyin thought to himself. He also hoped that Duan Lingtian would be fine. It was not only because Duan Lingtian was one of his few friends, but it was also because his sister Huang had followed Duan Lingtian. She was the sword soul of Duan Lingtian's sword. In the dimensional battlefield formed by the intersection of the heavenly Clearland and another dimensional battlefield, within a military camp, 3 beautiful figures stood there, attracting the attention of many people. Among the 3 women, 2 of them had delicate and beautiful appearances, causing people to be unwilling to shift their gazes away after a single glance. At this very moment, the 3 women's faces were filled with astonishment. Sister Jingru, Xiao Lan, do you think the Duan Lingtian who stirred up a storm in the Chaos Realm is him? Among the 3 women, the most beautiful woman stood there with a noble air about her. When she asked the other 2 women, her eyes shone brightly, and her voice was filled with excitement. I don't think it's possible. Among the 3 women, there was a beautiful woman whose appearance was not bad. However, in front of the other 2 women, she appeared to be more ordinary. Her face was filled with disbelief. Although I also hope that it is young master. It shouldn't be too possible, right? Sister Jingru, I think it's possible. The last woman shook her head and said, didn't you hear what they said? The prodigy from the divine offering land is called Duan Lingtian. He's from the mystic Handle Land's myriad law palace, and he's not even 1,000 years old. Most importantly, he's also from a lower plane. He has a law clone to rely on. Also, I've heard that. He usually wears a purple robe. All of this matches. How can there be such a coincidence in this world? I don't believe it. The woman called Xiao Lan had a stubborn expression on her face at this moment. I also don't think it's possible. The most beautiful woman nodded in agreement. Clearly, she supported the woman called Xiao Lan. If it's young master, then it's naturally a good thing. The woman called Sister Jingru sighed. However, I don't really hope it's young master. After all, according to what they said, the prodigy Duan Lingtian has become a target in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. There's a high chance he'll die. As soon as the words left her mouth, the other 2 women's expressions changed. That was right. They only thought it was possible the prodigy was that man. They had completely forgotten the difficult situation he was in. Chapter 43-26. All of Duan Lingtian's friends and family who knew about his situation were basically worried about his safety, as they felt that Duan Lingtian had a slim chance of survival this time. However, in fact, Duan Lingtian himself had also experienced a few thrilling situations, but only one of them was more thrilling. Apart from that one, the rest of the times were more daunting than dangerous. Now, it's only a few months until the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory closes. If nothing goes wrong, with my current Chaos points, I should be able to get first place on the overall ranking list. Duan Lingtian thought that his previous speed of accumulating battle merits was not slow. Therefore, after the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory opened, he could also continuously open secret areas. The secret areas that he opened were all Tin Man's secret areas. Then, every Tin Man's secret realm was contracted by him, without exception. For example, if other people opened secret areas like him, even if they were strong, there was a possibility that they would meet someone whose strength was on par with them or join forces with others who were not weaker than them. Under such circumstances, there was no way to contract a secret area. Duan Lingtian, on the other hand, did not have such a problem. Lower Ultimate God? Even if there were 9 of them attacking him together, he would not be afraid. Not to mention his current strength. Even when the upgraded version of the Chaos Territory had just opened, his strength was already comparable to the best among the medium ultimate gods and was close to the top of the medium ultimate gods. Now, he was naturally even stronger. In the next few months, I'll properly organize my recent gains. At the same time, I'll strive to completely consolidate my lower ultimate god cultivation base. That was right. Even now, Duan Lingtian had not completely consolidated his cultivation base. The lower ultimate god cultivation base was considered the easiest to consolidate among the ultimate gods. However, Duan Lingtian had not completely consolidated his cultivation base until now. Although he had obtained some treasures that were helpful in consolidating his cultivation base in various secret areas along the way, it was ultimately a drop in the bucket. Of course, even a drop in the bucket could still accumulate. Therefore, after a long time, he was getting closer and closer to completely consolidating his cultivation base. At this moment, Duan Lingtian was even more envious of his fourth senior sister, Lang Chun. This was because his fourth senior sister Lang Chun had automatically consolidated her cultivation base not long after becoming a lower ultimate god. This was a result of the innate stage, and he could only envy her. Of course, he vaguely felt that people like his fourth senior sister Lang Chun were able to do so because of her extraordinary bloodline, or because she had a past life like his wife, Kerr. Otherwise, this was simply unrealistic. After Kerr regained her memories from her past life, there didn't seem to be any bottlenecks in her future cultivation. I just don't know if it's the same for her future cultivation, Duan Lingtian thought to himself. At this moment, Duan Lingtian was thinking about many things. At the same time, when he thought about his wife, Kerr, he could not help but sigh inwardly. I wonder if Kerr is in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm. If she's in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, she'll definitely be worried about me, right? If she's not in the Chaos Realm, that's a good thing. I hope that she's already left the Chaos Realm and the Dimensional Battlefield and returned to the Xia clan in the Divine Offering Land. If that's the case, she'll be safe and it'll be easier for me to find her, Duan Lingtian thought to himself. Duan Lingtian found a secluded place and began to organize his gains this time. At the same time, he opened another secret realm of 10 people. As for whether he would have a chance to enter it again, he did not have much hope and only thought that it would be up to fate. After all, the average interval between entering any secret realm of 10 people in the past was more than a few months. In the past, Duan Lingtian had only used the treasures that were useful to him in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm and the Chaos Realm. He kept the rest of the treasures. It would have been better if he did not organize them. After organizing them, he realized how much wealth he had plundered in various secret realms. Although most of the treasures were useless to him, they were rare treasures for those below the ultimate god realm. He didn't need it, but his family and friends did. Even if it's useful to me, it's still some medicinal herbs that haven't been refined. I can refine some pills here without worrying about alerting anyone. In the Dimensional Battlefield and the Chaos Realm, there were all kinds of heaven and earth anomalies that could not be found in the outside world. At the same time, they could also conceal themselves from the heavens and earth. For example, the Divine Pill Tribulation could also be concealed. Only the Millennium Tribulation that every expert had to face, the Dimensional Battlefield, and even the Chaos Realm could not conceal themselves from the heavens. Therefore, Duan Lingtian could refine divine pills here, even if it was a supreme divine pill, without causing any commotion. He did not need to worry about alerting anyone. However, if there is no pill tribulation, the efficacy of the supreme divine pills will be a little weaker. I'll refine some divine pills that will help me consolidate my cultivation base first. As for the rest of the divine pills that I don't need for now, I'll refine them after I leave this place. Duan Lingtian quickly made up his mind. In the next few months, after he had sorted out all his gains from the Dimensional Battlefield and the Chaos Realm, he began to refine the divine pills that he could use. Then, he consumed the divine pills to cultivate. During this period of time, although there would be people passing by occasionally, nobody would be able to guess that Duan Lingtian was hiding here. This was because the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was about to close. Many people had found a quiet place to rest and cultivate while waiting for the secret territory to open. As for these people, they were basically the stronger ones. Therefore, even if they discovered that someone was cultivating in seclusion nearby, no one dared to rashly provoke the other party. If it was someone weaker than them, it would be fine, as they would only dare to be angry and not say anything. However, if it was someone stronger than them, it would often lead to a fatal disaster. Who would want to be disturbed when they were cultivating in seclusion? In fact, now that the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm was about to close, there were fewer and fewer people looking for Duan Lingtian. This was because Duan Lingtian had disappeared without a trace. Some people felt that Duan Lingtian might have been killed by someone, and that the person who killed him had not gone to the various military camps to claim the reward. Some people felt that even if Duan Lingtian was not killed now, the possibility of finding Duan Lingtian in the last few months was very low. Therefore, they were not interested. Within a military camp in the upgraded version of the Chaos Realm, a young man in blue clothes and carrying a plain-looking longsword slowly walked into the camp. Wherever he went, he attracted a lot of attention. It's him. He's that monstrous upper god emperor. You've met him before? I met him in the secret territory with 10 people. The 9 of us joined forces, but we were not a match for his sword. That sword was too scary. It directly crushed their attacks. If he had not shown mercy at the crucial moment, we would have all been dead by his sword. He must be the first on the upper god emperor ranking list. He seems to be the same as Duan Lingtian. From the lower dimensions, someone once saw with their own eyes that his law of destruction doppelganger and law of time doppelganger worked together to kill a medium ultimate god. The handsome young man in blue was as calm as ever as he faced the crowd's discussion. At this time, someone could not help but ask, "Brother, you're from the lower dimensions. Do you belong to any force now?" "I'm from a giant ultimate god family in the land of cloud water. If you're interested, I can recommend you to join my family. Brother, with your talent and strength, once you join our family, you'll definitely be favored by the Supreme Elder. With the Supreme Elder's guidance and your talent, it's not impossible for you to become the second Supreme Elder in our family in the future." The person who spoke was a middle-aged man with a determined face. The divine power on his body was deliberately dissipating. He was obviously a higher ultimate god. Humph. At this time, an old man snorted and stepped forward. "What's so good about joining a family force?" "Sir, I'm from a giant ultimate god sect in the land of mysterious gang. With your talent, if you join our sect leader will definitely be willing to recommend you to the Supreme Elder in our sect. Who knows, the Supreme Elder might even be willing to accept you as his personal disciple." One by one, the higher ultimate gods in the military camp from various planes of gods stepped forward and invited the young man in blue to join their forces after learning of his identity. "Thank you for your kindness, but I don't plan to join any forces for the time being." The young man in blue did not change his expression in the face of everyone's invitation. At the same time, he calmly rejected everyone's invitation. Although the crowd was not very happy to see this, they did not say much. Such a genius might not be a match for them now, but once he stepped into the ultimate god realm, his strength might be comparable to Duan Lingtian's current strength. It was said that Duan Lingtian's current strength was not weaker than a top medium ultimate god. One had to know that he was just a lower ultimate god who had not consolidated his cultivation base. A genius with such a foundation would definitely become one of the top upper ultimate gods when he stepped into the upper ultimate god realm. Any one of those upper ultimate gods would be at the top of the food chain. Ordinary upper ultimate gods would not be a match for them, even if there were hundreds or thousands of them. At their level of strength, they could no longer rely on numbers to win. "He's going to the bounty area. He's about to leave, and he still wants to claim the bounty? Or did he complete some kind of bounty?" Soon, the group saw the young man in blue walking toward the bounty area on the side of the military camp. Bounties were usually posted there. There were all kinds of bounty missions. Some were for treasures, some were for other things, and some were for killing someone, of course. The bounties for killing someone were mostly for Duan Lingtian. He's looking at the bounty for Duan Lingtian. Could it be that he killed Duan Lingtian? Soon, someone noticed that the young man in blue seemed to be particularly interested in the bounty for Duan Lingtian and stopped in front of each bounty for Duan Lingtian. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.